Right, was that a 2-1?
Yes.
Oh, right.
We've started.
6 idiots, 1
We
dice.
return to the now reunited Syrcas. Their previously fallen ally stands, with the wind of the ocean whipping his fur around beside them. The action of death may have been reversed, however, the trying ordeal still rests upon them all. The death, having left many shaken, also led to more trials. The finding of a cleric led to the need for basilisk salivary glands. The adventure in itself led the characters through the woods, meeting up with a small pocket of goblins who had decided to flee their tribe along their journey. The loss of a horse came during the trying battle against the snake-like creatures, along with eventual success. Their return journey was not unplagued, however. Weird phenomenon such as ever-present mist and muffled movement throughout the forest persisted. Whilst they camped for the night, I realised I've put that as cramped. One of their number also noticed something. Orbs of green just staring towards them. It soon transpired that this was the green dragon they've encountered a few times before. No longer aggressive, however, but very unsettling for those involved. They left the woods with their lives, reaching Mapletide to return another. Kimi, Savangal's sister and eldest sibling, guided the ritual, which successfully returned Boar to the land of the living. This was, however, not without cost. Syrcas now stands at the bow of a galley, the sails being taken in as the sandy beach ahead of them approaches. It's been about 24 hours since they set off of Mapletide. On their way, they met up with Kimi to pay. On their way to meet up with Kimi and pay off their debt to her, they took a job from Johan to clear out a ruin on this island. The ship lurches to a halt as its captain, the only crew member, steps forward to inform you that you have arrived. What lies in wait on this island? How will it test the group? And will they succeed? Let us see where this adventure leads today with the dummies and their dice.
Woo! Yay!
You know, if I were to read that as I typed it, it would make so much less sense because instead of green, it was gree. Just starting towards them. A lot of grammatical and spelling errors, but good job, me.
You did it though. You didn't make
deciphered
any
it, so it's
mistakes
good.
reading.
That's
Roll
the best
one.
kind of writing. Kind that keeps you on your toes. And you have to ad-lib some of it. That's a good kind of writing.
Fair enough.
Right. I'm even on the wrong tab, but ta-da.
Ruins.
Oh, we got a map.
Are
Okay.
those the ruins?
I'd like to say the whole time on the boat journey, Agnes has just been meditating, ignoring everything.
Oh, speaking of, you wouldn't have been able to get straight from the galley to the shore, so you would have taken a rowboat.
Oh, which was like covering out for you.
Conveniently for you, you now find yourselves upon the shore.
Thank God you didn't have to actually experience it.
Yeah, getting back to the boat's a whole different thing. Argenfell said that they will wait until your return,
Oh,
and you
bless
see
him.
that the ship has laid anchor, all the sails are up, and Argenfell has literally just stood at the wheel of the ship.
Bless him. Bless his heart. Oh,
However, you now find yourself on a long sandy beach. This island is rather interesting and somewhat discomfortable for quite a few of you, for you find that the air around you is very warm and very, very heavy in water. It appears that you're now standing on a tropical island of some sort. There is a large mountain jutting up out of the somewhat center part, and the fine sandy beaches below you are littered with the occasional mounds of rock and stone. You can just about make out part of a what might be a building just to the edge of this on this sort of mountainside.
Ruins.
And in between that and you is the sand, the sort of rather lush fields, and the thick jungles. And a few coconut trees because they're also here.
Ooh, fancy.
This weather is very much unlike what you're used to, especially along the Sword Coast. Apart from maybe Savangal feeling a bit more at home, considering that she does actually come from a desert.
Wow.
This is hot.
Ooh.
Abigail starts rolling around in the sand like the chinchillas do when they get into a dust bath.
Oh, there's now just sand flying everywhere.
Oh god. Oh god.
Walking away, walking away.
My eyes.
The gentle sound of lapping waves is behind you.
Walking
The
away,
only
walking away, walking away.
Only other thing other than coughing and the sound of sand being thrown everywhere is the whistling of the wind through the trees.
So, there's ruins here, hey?
Mhm.
Let's go find them.
Guess that'd be the
let's
best thing
go
to
on an
do.
adventure.
Go.
You can figure out it's gonna take you about a day to reach them.
Okay.
Do
I
we
was
know
gonna
where
say,
they
do we have
are?
any idea where they are?
Yeah.
You can just about see when you sort of semi approached and landing on the beach. I said you can just about make out a ruined building here.
All right. Is this a mountain? That's a mountain, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The grey just represents where it starts to raise essentially. So
All right.
its peak is about here. And I shall mark that for you because I'm kind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you believe
Shall
the
we get
ruins
walking then?
to be, or there's a ruined building you can just about make out there.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get walking.
Do we want to walk like along the shore? Far enough away for Agnes's sake, though.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind this beach is like a mile long in places.
It may
walk
still
through
be
the-
suitable to walk on the beach, considering it's less places to hide for anything that wishes to attack.
What the jungle areas count as forest?
For this purpose, yes.
My favorite terrain. Still get through there safely. Was part kind of.
Up to you guys.
What do I get with favorite terrain again? Advantage on
Intelligence. No, it's a double proficiency on intelligence and wisdom-based rolls.
Ah yes. Whilst travelling for an hour or more on your chosen terrain, difficult terrain doesn't slow any of your group's travel. Group can't become lost. Alas for magic. You remain alert to danger. You find twice as much food. Eat. So I don't mind. I want to get there as soon as possible, but I don't mind.
We'll go.
Let's
We can cut through both.
We can take the direct path if you wish.
Direct path it is then.
Well, let's go. Sure.
All right. So how are you traveling?
On foot.
Not quite what I meant. Are you like a big group? Are you alone? Are you a
Uh,
splodge? Are you bothering to look out for things? Or are you just charging head first? Are you walking at a
Agnes is
relaxed
keeping an
pace?
eye out like always.
I don't mind
Which
leading
direction?
the way since it's forest. Towards.
Can I say every direction?
No.
Oh.
Generally, because otherwise you just wouldn't be paying attention to anything.
Arsene up
Well,
front.
Arsene should be at the front, yeah.
I'll be at front, keep an eye up front, and go trying to guide the
Bearing
way
in mind
to.
each hex is 2 miles, so
Okay. Nice
It'll
eye
take you-
shall help me.
it'll take you about half an hour to an hour to get into the jungle to begin with if you're planning on going straight through.
Mm.
Oop.
No,
Do we lose Sophie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like it.
Okay.
Alright.
Night, Sophie.
I say we're I'll say Cerno's either in the middle or sort of the back.
Boys more towards the back.
Agnes will be nearer the front then.
All right. Savengale?
The kitty is at the rear trying to shake out all the sand that she has accumulated, although still looking at the back
Oh.
occasionally.
Well, so the cat seems to have almost doubled in size, and every time she shakes or just moves, there just is perpetually falling sand out of her fur. Also, the sort of white and black color which you're used to now just appears to be a very light brown.
Wait, I
It's
thought
not the sort of
Savangale was a
thing you
pure
want to have an
black
OCD
cat.
thing about.
Mhm.
Sorry,
I was
Ninja.
gonna say, I thought she was an all black cat.
She's got a splodge of white on her.
Oh, so I didn't.
No one else has to
know that.
draw her.
Hmm?
Such
She's got a splodge of white, but I don't think that's a splodge of white. Hang on. If I recall, I
Where
think
is
you
the
drew her with
splodge of
shoes
white?
on, didn't you?
The
No.
drawers? No.
Didn't you?
I've got a drawer too. Sylvie. Please.
No, on her on the icon, she's got wraps around wraps around her ankles.
Yeah.
In the group picture, I'm
In the group
Yeah.
picture, she's got wraps around her ankles.
as well, and you can only see
Yes.
one of her feet anyway. And she's
Mm-hmm.
wearing clothes.
Still nice to be told these things when you're drawing them.
Yep.
It's a splotch of white around her ankle,
Thank you.
but you've put wraps around them.
Shut up.
Now, my dude, don't whisper loudly, please.
There's a reason why her last name is called Left Sock, because socks can wear socks.
The
Cats can
last-
have socks too.
Oh my
That's her last
god,
name?
that is adorable.
The group have never asked each other's last names.
No, I mean half of you
Savangale
don't even
Left
have last names.
True.
No, it is.
Or half of
Boy
us
the
don't want the
Bugbear.
others to
That's
know
my
our
name.
last names.
That is Boy's name. It's Boy the Bugbear.
Nice. Anyway,
Pretty
Keep
much
on
it, okay.
marching, keep on marching.
All right. Well, so Arsene is at front and Agnes is just behind. If you could both make perception checks, please.
yeah. Is Night Eyes helping me?
Is Night Eyes
Uh-oh.
helping you?
I'd like him to help me.
Wait, I have.
Why
a
did you
question.
roll it? Oh wait, no, you rolled that 5 beforehand, didn't you?
Yep. But it
Roll for
still
Night Eyes.
doesn't make
Night
forget-
Eyes.
much difference.
Don't forget, Night Eyes' perceptions increased by 1 due to your proficiency bonus increasing as well.
Oh, so his
Do I have
proficiency
a
bonus
pen
increases
for
too.
His
No?
proficiency bonus is no, he God. So in skills which he's proficient in, it's his base, then it's his proficiency bonus, then it's your proficiency bonus on top of it.
Do I not have a little pan flute? I thought
Okay.
I did.
So his okay, so his perception and stealth has gone up. Thank you.
So it's gone up by 1.
Nice, thank you. Do you want me to roll again, or we go?
Nah, we'll just mentally add it.
Okay.
That's
Thank you.
why his perception is like 3, and then it's 5. So now his perception is 6, and his stealth is now 7.
Okay, and I'll also add this.
All right. Well. So Agnes, you're a bit too still off put about that whole sort of boat ride over. The waves
Mhm.
are still very much in your mind, and although it was pretty smooth sailing, it still unnerved you even throughout your meditation, and you're a bit too busy concentrating on that. Night Eyes is trying to eat the remainder of the ham from your bag, Arsene,
Of course he is.
and
Really
is at the moment literally just body, wings, and tail hanging out of it as his head and front legs are just inside, and you're just hearing.
Like, swear to God, if that gets on anything else in that bag, you are in trouble.
You just feel the tail sort of whip back and forth slightly as he continues eating. As for you, however, Arsene, the ever vigilant.
Nice.
There are a few things which you actually notice. There appears to be a few sort of footprints in the sand, several pairs. Discernible sort of which way they were traveling is very hard, considering the fact that they seem to have been there for a considerable long time, and the wind sort of buffeted and removed sort of the shape of the foot. So all you're really seeing is sort of like an oval at this point. And you, being the vigilant ranger that you are, can comprehend that these are somewhat. These are most likely footprints. A group, maybe 4 to 5, have walked along the beach. Which way they were going, you're not entirely sure, but they've walked along it. And there appears to be a section of the beach which is quite flattened down, and there are a few stones sort of scattered around. And as you pause and let Cerno catch up slightly and Savangao continue to shake the sand out of herself, you think that where you're currently standing may be might have been a campsite at one point in time. You are still on the beach.
Campsite for this other group. Potentially. I'll just, as we're pausing, I'll point out the footprints and the slightly flattened down sand, just so there's potentially other people here. I'm assuming since I can actually see footprints, and it's got to be recently that they've been.
Well,
with this
we
how
can assume
big, how powerful this wind is.
the wind. There's not much of a wind actually.
Oh, I thought we could hear it, so I thought it was powerful.
No, that's someone breathing in their microphone. There's not actually much of the wind. It was weird. As soon as you got off the ship, the strong winds which had been propelling it just almost instantly died away, and you're beginning to get the idea that one of the reasons why Argenfell is able to captain and crew a ship on his own is that he has some significant control over the vessel and the area around it. However, the wind around here is very minimal. It is very humid, as the word I was looking for. It's very humid, and from sort of glancing at the rest of the beach, you figure that the sea probably doesn't come all this way up to move the sand away. So only gentle winds have sort of flattened out and sort of filled in these footprints slightly. So from your estimates, it could be anywhere between a week to about a month that these footprints have been here if the weather stays like this.
I say that instead. So, might be people, might not, might be dead bodies. Yeah. We'll find out.
Cerno nods and go, okay. And he's doing the, you know when you grab your, like, the collar of your shirt and you're, like, fluffing it to get, like, some, like, wind moving? He's doing that with his armor. God, it's hot.
We'll get out of the heat eventually.
Boys tensing up.
Okay, you okay? We good? Fine.
Yeah, I should. To be fair, all I heard was dead bodies. Tired.
We don't know if there's going to be dead bodies.
There might be, but we'll find out.
There might be living people.
If they're dead, we can look.
Abigail starts giving Cerno a bath just to cool him down.
Oh,
That's not gonna. Yeah.
Oh, God. No, that doesn't help. Oh, God. Your spit is just as warm. Ah.
And sandpaper tongue is just not gonna be good.
let's
She
get
gives
out.
him. She gives him a hair. She gives him a new hairstyle when she's done.
A cowlick.
Pretty much. It's also, Sana, you begin to realize as the saliva slowly dries that there's now also bits of sand and cat fur stuck to your face of where she's been cleaning herself and hasn't entirely got it off her tongue before she started cleaning you.
How far away are we from the water?
You've been traveling probably about 15 minutes, and you're very close to the edge of the beach at this point.
No.
Run, Syrta, run.
Nah. He's just gonna wipe it off as best he can and just not think about it.
Mhm. Oh, good. Don't think about it. Let's just keep going. Keeping more of
It's a
an eye
shame
out.
you don't have create water on you.
I mean, I don't have
Alright.
enough for what I was thinking.
Is that Nate or?
No, that's Nate. Dayron is just sort of hanging around, just kind of going, I don't see what all the fuss is about. This is a lovely place.
Ah, that's like. Oh, considering he's a shadow, I thought he wouldn't be fond of how sunny it is or hot it is. I don't know.
No,
I don't know this.
the level of light doesn't seem to affect him in any way, shape, or form.
Neat. Okay. Let's keep going.
Unfortunate.
Just changes how hard it is for Agnes to actually see him. During the night, it's significantly harder to make out his shape, is essentially it.
I don't know. It's easier not to see him. You could word it in different.
All right.
Onwards.
Given about another 15-20 minutes, you finally make your way off the beach through the sort of long grass, semi-meadow-like, and sort of tall and reedy, and you eventually sort of head into the jungle, and the shade of the trees actually provides a little bit of relief. Or so you'd hope, but it seems that most of the heat doesn't seem to be coming from the sun, and the shade doesn't appear to do too much.
Oh boy.
However, you are now in Arsene's favourite terrain, and given about another half hour of travel, your speed and pace picks up considerably as she is able to easily sort of pick through the dense clusters of bushes, trees in the areas and follow the more sort of lower down. It's not full on jungle, but it's more jungle than it is forest, if that makes sense.
It's more like overgrown forest.
No, it's more sort of tropical. It is more tropical, but it's not quite full-fledged jungle, with the canopy and ridiculously tall trees.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
it's still quite overgrown. It's still got the sort of more tropical trees, but it's not packed densely enough for it to be a jungle. That's pretty much it.
awesome. Thank you.
Maybe a couple more decades, and it'll be a couple more centuries, and it might be getting close to a jungle. But at this stage, not really.
Yeah, if it was decades, I'd come back and check it out. But yeah.
Yeah, I corrected myself because I forgot which one was which. However, after about 45 minutes travel, all 5 of you hear something.
Right?
What do we hear?
I immediately go into patient defense.
Well, you hear a sound, and Arsene being at the front, you pause as you pick up the sounds of what appears to be combat. There's a hard to tell, but it seems to be coming about 100, 200 feet away, probably north easterly direction. Not entirely sure how many, but there's a sound of groaning, and every now and then you just hear this sort of telltale sign of a sword going through the air before there is another groan.
Right.
How
Yeah.
far away do you say?
100 to 200 feet.
Can I send Night Eyes ask him to go into the air first?
You can. I know I said there's no canopy, but the trees are still quite close together.
I'm casting Mage Armor, by the way.
All right.
Never mind, Night Eyes would.
I mean, he can. It's just that he's not going to be able to fly above the trees and see down. He's going to have to sort of fly below the branches to be able to see, which is still relatively high, but it's not invisible, if that makes sense.
What if if he flies towards it and lands on the top of a tree stealthily?
I mean, he can land and crawl along branches if that's what you want him to do.
Yeah, sure. Get him to
Alright,
show off a
roll
bit.
a stealth check. This is going to be quite hard for him.
Oh, nice.
I believe in him.
I believe. I believe. Look at him go.
All right, with a 22, he sort of begrudgingly pulls his head out of your bag, having finished off, you believe, probably the last of the ham, gives a little burp before fluttering wings and sort of dancing off into the distance. And then you see him just sort of arc straight up, and you hear a sort of as he hits through some of the leaves and lands on a branch. And then you cannot see him anymore.
Oh, he's impressive.
I'm gonna slowly start sneaking.
Yeah, let's sneak forward.
Stealthing.
All right, roll your stealth checks.
Because I believe I do have that.
God damn it, he stole my stealth.
Sneaky. Yeah, Borna has a +6.
Nice.
Plus
Oh.
9.
Goddamn cat.
All right. And so you all sneak forward, most of you being pretty stealthy. Sano is still somewhat phased by the whole heat thing, and you just hear the occasional flapping of fabric against metal armor as he's trying to cool himself down. But you approach what appears to be a small clearing, and the sounds of combat have now died down. But within this clearing is a small, probably about one-man tent, what appears to be a fire pit, and a humanoid figure stood over what would be a humanoid figure, but it's not entirely what you expect.
Oh,
So
no.
the standing figure is wielding a longsword. You see arrows, a quiver of arrows, and a longbow strapped around their body, along with the longsword in hand and sort of blue and dark coloured clothes over what appears to be, from the slight clinking sounds as he makes small movements, to be chainmail. Upon the ground lies something completely different and substantially more worrying. This grey-skinned humanoid you would put between the size of Arsene and Boar. It's got long, knotted, and greasy black hair, which seems to be, well, now all tangled and rather covered in blood as well, just sprayed out across the ground. It seems to have a flabby face, and even on lying on the ground, its back is bent slightly. Very bad posture, you assume. Relatively elf-pointed like ears, and from what you guys can just about make out from the side of its face, it does not have an eye. Where the eye should be, there is just skin. Completely over.
On
It will-
both eyes?
You can only see one, the way it's lying with the humanoid stood over it. It seems to have been carrying a basic club-like weapon, which is now just lying limply in one of its hands, and the clothes it's wearing could be hardly described as clothes and more along the line of loincloth.
Oh, that's always fun.
It is at this point which Sono decides to make a fanning motion again, and the humanoid figure does look over in your direction and sees only Sono.
Okay.
He stops and like freezes and stops moving,
Yeah.
like mid motion. Whoops.
How animal like.
Say.
Hi.
Agnes just hears, I think he's seen one of us.
Could be you.
The figure in the distance will smile. He will look over towards the two. You said two bodies?
No, there's only one body which you have defeated in combat using mostly just sword skill and staying out of its lumbering and relatively slow and badly placed attacks.
Going to look towards the halfling and towards the remain. and it kind of jokingly says, "You're not with him, I take it."
Considering I don't know what him is, I'm gonna say no. Sano's gonna start
Hey.
walking forward. A bit cautiously. It's dead,
This figure,
right?
yes,
Okay. That's good.
takes a quick look at Cerno. Can I send you a quick DM, Nate?
Sure.
Ooh, secrets. Secrets. Secrets.
And debating on whether we
Whispers,
should stay hidden or
Whisper,
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 whisper.
whisper.
You were all
whisper,
just sort of
whisper,
stood behind trees,
whisper,
like,
whisper,
don't
whisper.
Yeah, everyone's essentially just stood behind trees, hiding behind bushes. You know, boars just holding up. I will tell you now that not the best perception. Comet only just lost out.
Oh, what did Comet roll? Oh, it's
A 10.
oh god. And I passed with a 12.
Yeah,
Rolls an 11.
it was right in the middle, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well done, me.
Odd. Descriptive, no, but you would have been informed of race, and that was about it.
Huh. Alright, I'll just try going with the idle conversation route. So, you out into this island in the middle of nowhere.
Hmm?
I'm guessing it's not just to see the sights.
He asked, "Why are you here?"
I guess you could say it's to see the sights. What about you?
Any
Is everyone else just still stood behind trees and bushes at this moment in time, watching this
Pretty much.
go down?
Yep.
We don't know what to do.
Agnes is amused.
Sevengil is
like,
like trying to climb a tree to like be better stealth because people don't look up on default.
Can I help the cat get up the tree? Stealthily?
Is there a way that I
You
can
know where the cat is to help the cat.
Hmm.
Zerno is lying by chance? Or
Yeah,
just
that would
not
be
true?
an insight check. So for you,
Yeah.
that'd be a D20. I have way too many tabs open. For you, that'd be a D20 plus 2.
Okay, how do we do this? D20. Oh, wait. Rolling option.
So just /r space D20 plus 2. I would say Savangal is currently like half hanging out of a tree at the moment, but very stealthily doing so, with most of the shadows around being quite hard to notice her.
Also, while odd.
Without the dot, Odd, without the dot.
I'll get this one of these days.
Oh, you're so sweet, odd. Oh.
Off to a great start. Or I'm off to a great
Okay,
start.
we're doing okay.
I'd like to say welcome to the crew. Odd, welcome to Dummies and Dice. Odd's now with us, it's playing and stuff.
Yay! And we
You
did
know what
like 31 sessions, it's fine.
We are on session 32, but you know what 6-player party means.
Oh no.
Harder monsters.
Harder encounters.
Oh no, Basilisk.
Okay,
Bad enough.
just to scare the heebie-jeebies out of you guys could logically, theoretically take on a level 10 challenge rating creature with legendary actions in a lair, and some of you would survive.
Just some.
Just
would
some
just
of
be
us,
nighttime.
not all of
I
us.
Only
realized what I just did.
Actually, it might be easier. Oh, you notice there's a
Ow.
little... Oh, 14. Tsano, roll a deception or persuasion, whichever one you were doing.
I'm okay. I'll go deception, I guess, because yeah, that's a -1.
Well,
I'm not okay. Yeah.
See how this goes.
Hee
Oh, are you serious?
You have a feeling that he may be hiding something, or he may just be a very hard individual to read. Or it may be the fact that he is currently sweating buckets and it's somewhat putting you off.
Or that it was sweating so much to the point you can't tell if he's lying and sweating, or it's because it's hot and sweating.
Yeah, all the normal tales just aren't there. His eyes are just rolling as he's panting and fanning himself. It's very hard to tell.
Got that part. I'll just get straight to the point. Did you happen to come here with a group of people?
He looks behind him. Does he see any of his friends?
Roll a perception check, Sana.
Have we just abandoned you?
Oh, it's plus
We've
5
just
now.
fucking abandoned him.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
No.
With a 15, you still know where Agnes is. And you also can just about make out Arsene's horns sticking out of a bush.
Guys, come on out.
yeah. Okay, I'll come out. Slowly. I don't have any weapons drawn. I'm just...
But it was fun to watch you struggle.
From far away, he's gonna go, ha, ha. Very funny.
I like the idea that Agnes is literally just stood next to him, just behind the tree, so that Bud's character can't see her.
Sana was trying to hide with Agnes, and Sana got seen, and then Agnes just steps out from behind the same tree.
I'll also call Night Eyes back down to me. Okay, yeah,
There's a
you're
slight
done.
Flop as a pseudo dragon falls out of a tree and lands quite graciously on top of a horn.
Ah, that was impressive. I'm very proud of it.
His tail sort of wraps around your horn slightly. And
Very
then
proud.
another.
Catch. Jesus Christ. You gotta go slow. God. Stop eating so much.
Boy's still in hiding.
Abigail is trying to get higher up on that tree because she knows how to make an entrance.
Make an athletics
Oh
check,
no, oh
Abigail.
no.
Hey,
Oh dear.
you two, come on out.
Nice
Only for
job
the
on
cat to do her entrance.
give him that thing. Oh no.
You're not. I mean, you've got claws, you're digging into the tree, but you're not making too much more progress at the moment as your tail seems to have wrapped itself around one of the branches and you're kind of forgetting to unwrap it at this point in time.
Wow.
Oh, that was a good
Thing is,
job on
cats can
Good.
climb trees, but they're not very good at getting down.
Yep.
This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah. We had sounds gonna come help, but we didn't need it obviously. Trying
She
to
had to
make idle conversation. Ugh.
What are you doing?
I was sent by an associate to this island due to some personal reasons. I don't need to get into too much detail about it. It happened to mention to me of a certain party group that she was well acquainted with.
Just acquainted.
Just acquainted. Thank you.
You
She
came
told
here
me to
by-
be out.
She told you
Woman by the name of Elysia Drakenbrook.
oh yes. Yes, we have met her before.
Really has a thing for stories, apparently.
Really, really does.
Seven Gold, make another intelligence check, please.
Am I actually supposed to be am I correct in thinking who it is?
It is the woman at the end of the Dancing Lights Festival.
Okay, phew, because I had a sudden panic, like, wait, is this...
She told us
No.
her name, right?
Hmm?
She told us her name.
She did tell you her name.
Mhm.
She didn't actually tell you her surname. This is the first time you've heard her surname, but she told you her
Okay.
name, and it's one of the only people you've come across that name before, and seems like the type of person who might do something like this. Savangal, you're too busy far up a tree to even pay attention to what's happening at this moment in time.
Just
She
like
got higher up on the tree to the point where it starts bending over.
I mean, it's quite a large tree. You'd be near the top if you were doing that, with probably about 30 to 40 feet up.
She's gonna climb.
Oh no.
Oh,
All
no.
right. Another athletics check.
Cerno keeps
Does my
racking.
character see this?
No.
Well, at the moment, she's still meant to be rather stealthy, but I would say the tree is probably beginning to bend slightly at this point in time.
Cerno's trying to remember the name. You can visibly see the cogs in his head turning, trying to remember the name.
Of... Oh, as in remember who it is?
Yeah, trying to place the person.
Oh,
Place the name.
Festival lights.
Person.
do you remember the lady that spoke to us after the story of the dragons at the festival? Who told us to research the Gaia wings?
Keeps thinking. His eyes narrow.
Yeah, it was
You
the
got this, buddy.
Sky Wings.
What?
And then
Hell
you
yeah.
hear the
We'll say
light
that.
bulb. You hear the light bulb go ding! Oh, that
Does Bull
person!
say that?
No,
Has
Bull
Bull
no.
finally come out of hiding?
Fuck no.
Mm.
I'm slowly passing out, so boy's hiding.
Are they okay? Yeah, they're okay. Okay. Well, so Alicia, hey?
She seemed to be sincere enough when I talked to her a while back. And she seemed to speak of hard. Apparently, she informed me to look out for a party named
Syrcas.
No, I did that on purpose.
Let him be dramatic.
The note she gave, the description she gave me, it was very weird. Anyway,
And she told you we would
she
be
told me
here.
that
She said so what she said to you was to come to this island to essentially it holds some information you're probably looking for to do with your own personal matters, and that you are more than likely to run into this group, and if you do, it might help you to tag along with them for a small period of time at the very least. She didn't specifically say that they would be on the island, but she never said that they wouldn't either.
okay.
Talked. She gave you like good, solid information, but she also talked somewhat in riddles as well.
Yes, Cerno definitely remembers those.
Why does that not surprise me? We only knew her for like 5 minutes, and yet.
Feckin'
I
Maybe
guess-
you are this group known as the Syrcas? I'm
Hey, that's us.
wasting my time.
Right. Yeah, that's us.
Cool.
Be relatively open with you on this. First, I have not introduced myself. Allow me to fix that. Virtue.
At this point
I'm
in
a
time, Savangal, you have reached the top of your tree.
As it started tipping down to the point where she can literally bend over while hanging upside down and be right in front of his face.
Spider-Man.
Not quite. You're probably about 5 feet from above him at this point, and by now everyone has sort of noticed the fact that this tree has just been slowly bending. The shade's getting a bit longer, and there is now just a cat hanging about 10 feet above you.
That's Savangal.
You're having fun there.
Pleasure.
I guess boy walks out because there's nothing better than that.
You think this is Boar? Said your name was
Lucian.
Lucian.
Seeing?
Love,
Lucian.
pleasure.
Lucian.
Make your acquaintance. So,
Choose will. Oh god damn it, not the southern accent.
what's gonna happen?
Shut up, bud. Fuck it. Boy talks normal. Screw it. Too tired to do accents because it's gonna go southern.
Okay. We.
It always goes south with you, eh, Ninja?
But
No, I will throw a boomerang at your head. Don't make me.
Please.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So, to this island.
What brings us to this island?
Just
Nothing
as a
really,
just as a quick
some
thing, the
pleasant
reason we're having to
sightseeing.
like repeat what you're saying is it feels like the beginning of your sentence is cut out.
Is it? Let me check my mic.
Yeah.
yeah, just every now and then you clearly start talking, and then your mic kicks in. So like when you said Lucian, we didn't hear the "la" part of it.
Oh, great. Should have done this.
Okay.
Anyway, go back to the
That sounds a
introducing.
bit better.
I mean, well,
I'm here for
we're
the ruined.
pretty much here for sightseeing at this point.
It's ruined here.
For a couple of days, and
So
doing
what?
sightseeing.
So this is probably the time which I should step in and inform you what Lucian knows. So
No.
so
Yeah,
Lucian has
sorry
been
about this.
Lucian's been on the island for a couple of days, and what he is able to inform you how willing he is to dispose of, to partake, not dispose,
Sure.
to share this information.
Pass on, yes. There we go.
Is as far as he has found, the island is uninhabited by what you guys would refer to as any sort of civilization. The ruins which you happen to seek appear to be very old indeed, well before Third Era.
Oh wow.
Though most of it doesn't really stand. There's only really one. There's essentially just husks of buildings, and then the thing which stands the most is a husk of a temple, with which has an expansive ruins underneath it. Not that he has explored it; he just sort of poked around slightly and then got out. This he believes that the creature he's just killed followed him from out of there. There are seemingly quite a lot of creatures that live on this island, and the vast majority of them don't appear to be friendly to outsiders or see humanoids as prey. There are definitely some creatures around the ruins as well. And Lucian has also seen the presence, but hasn't actually seen them, but the presence of a group, probably about 4 to 5 people, found the old campsite and the odd trail which they've created.
What's the bet
You've made.
What's the bet there were the guys sent here before us?
Oh yeah.
Hey, God, I have a question.
Yarp?
Why the fuck are we doing the mission again?
Because
Wait,
you guys
what-
apparently decided that even though it
No, wait,
even
hold
though
on,
you
rephrase
weren't going
that.
to be granted anything via Johan of pay, you still decided to take on his mission.
Okay, hold
Yeah,
on. The
I kind of
question
felt bad
is,
for sounding it out.
what the hell is the mission?
The mission which you've been told is to essentially go to these ruins and clear out the vast majority of them. There's stuff in there which Johan has a great interest in taking a look at. When he says clear out. It was essentially just to it's known that the ruins, the information which you guys have received is it's known that the ruins do connect into a vast cave system. To not worry entirely about the vast cave system, you're not here to clear that out. You're just here to clear out the actual sort of rooms and ruins of essentially underneath this temple.
So
We're
basically,
the exterminators.
You're essentially just here to exterminate, so
Ghostbusters.
Johan can come in and do research. There's things of interest to him. You're informed that you're allowed to take things that you find as long as you show them to them upon return, so they can at least be documented and
Ooh.
inspected before you go off on your merry way.
awesome. If all of you couldn't tell, I'm very tired. I've probably gotten 30 minutes or to an hour of sleep. I don't remember
my.
falling asleep.
I can tell you're very, very tired.
Oh yeah. I hate night shift.
Okay. I mean, honestly, without saying, they just kind of heard the word ruins. So all the rest of the party was vaguely interested in going. We're like, yeah, sure,
And
yes,
just
yes,
push that boat as far as she could.
yes, pretty
They
much.
were kidding the candy store is basically what the fuck it is.
Yeah, pretty much. He's desperate.
It's
Like,
like a
please.
dog hearing the word walk. Ooh!
Right,
No.
Yes, I want to go. I'll go. We're going now. We're going now. Great, we're going now. Let's go.
Please.
Atlas, we're not eating the boat. Alright, just no.
Eat the boat. Hashtag eat the boat.
I
Yeah,
think
but
its captain would have something to say about that.
It's been
Hashtag
so
eat the
long
boat.
And I don't
since
want
I
to.
was in ruins.
It's a
Mhm.
one-man crew, Ninja.
Well, you know what? They're dead then. This is now our boat, and we're gonna be pirates.
I'll be very impressed if we can eat
Yes,
our
let's go
gun-
fight One Piece!
Woo!
It's just smooth
know-
sailing from there.
Alright. Do we keep marching?
Oh.
We know
Do
where
you
we're going.
fancy coming with us to go to the ruins?
I'm going to assume that we all introduce ourselves.
Oh,
I'm Boy. I'm done.
Sure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. It's met with a warrior's handshake.
he just does a polite nod and is like, Arsene, and picks up Night Eyes. Say, this is Night Eyes. He's very friendly, I promise. Unless you steal his ham, then he will bite you. I can't stop him.
Steel hand. I promise.
Don't steal ham.
Cerno just says, Cerno!
Oh, on better circumstances.
This is amazing.
Savangel lets go of the tree and drops down on somebody.
Oh no. Who does the cat land on?
Oh no.
Who does the cat land on?
Yeah, no.
Did I roll a dice to see who's the lottery lucky winner?
Oh.
Oh,
You certainly may.
So do we...
Yeah, it would be a D5.
Oh no.
That is Arsene and Night Eyes.
Oh no. Am I strong enough? Gotcha.
Make a strength saving throw, Arsene.
Oh, I'm good at these. Okay. Hell yeah. A +4.
Hell yeah.
Well, you suddenly sort of wave your arms frantically as now somehow there is a cat trying to perch on your other horn and you are very off balance. But you are able to not fall over, however, Savangal does have to let go to not essentially snap your neck at this point.
Okay. Thankfully, she didn't land on the semi-broken one because
That's the one
No.
Night Eyes is residing on.
good. I'm growing that back out.
Ouch.
Mm,
Savangel gives you a kitty head rub.
okay. Kitty head rub is accepted begrudgingly.
With just a little bit of scratch underneath your chin.
A little bit of scratches. I'm used to night eyes. So yeah, having out night eyes. Yeah, same.
Same claws.
Can I take a closer look at the dead corpse while this is happening?
You certainly may. What do you want to look about it?
I want to examine it a little closer than what I did beforehand. A little more detail.
All right. Well, you do see that it does indeed have no eyes. Where eyelids should be is just solid skin.
So it's basically the creature from Pan's Labyrinth with the eyes on its palms.
Yeah, apart from it doesn't have eyes on its palms, it doesn't appear to have any eyes whatsoever. Relatively large ears, elven sort of in shape, but exaggerated and exaggerated. The hair is unkept. It's very sort of flabby. It's got a hunched back. It doesn't particularly look like it's that much of a fit creature. Its skin is ashen grey, and its blood is a dark, dark red.
Ugh.
May I cast primeval awareness, please?
Well, I can tell you that straight away. You sense dragons.
Oh yeah. I've given up on checking for dragons at this point.
As for everything else,
How far can you actually see with that?
6 miles in a
6
forest.
miles in her favored terrain. So
Tee.
from where you are, let's see.
Shit, wait, do dead bodies count?
You do actually get a sense of fiends. Sorry, not fiends. Fae. Fae and dragons, and that would be about it at the moment.
Okay. No one dead.
No undead.
Neat. Okay, guys.
You know what? Roll an intelligence check as well, Arsene.
Oh god. Not intelligence, please. I don't have any.
Well,
Oh. Never mind.
Considering that this creature was bleeding and there's blood sort of dotted around the area, and Lucian doesn't actually have any wounds visible upon himself, you realize that this creature probably isn't undead,
Neat.
or wasn't undead at the very least.
Thank you, Arsene, for being smarter than I am. Not undead, it's just a humanoid then.
it's just dead.
It's just dead.
Also smells awful.
And you get used to the smell.
No, it doesn't smell like decomposing anything. It smells like
Oh.
a room full of teenagers who haven't showered and have just come back from rugby or something.
Yeah, that's a nasty smell.
Gonna quickly
Okay.
disconnect and then reconnect because sounds like Discord's dying slightly.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, we'd get. Yeah.
That's
It's
and
dead.
I can hear the music, but there we go. Turn that off.
Go after giving Arsene the head, kitty head, if you would like to jump on Lucian's shoulder and do a dance.
Roll a performance check.
I'm so sorry.
All to counter this?
Oh, with a natural one.
Oh
With a
no.
natural one, as Savango gets into pouncing and jumps forward to try and land on your shoulder, you instinctively just duck, and you just see out of the corner of your eye this cat just goes sailing over your head and land behind you.
Does she do a roll to make up for it?
Roll acrobatics.
Hey guys, I think I know why Discord is slightly dying and you sound a little shit.
Oh, how's your internet?
It's 0.07.
Oh my.
God.
Jesus.
My
That-
internet
that-
can just as a like baseline, I can normally hit like 40 download, like 40.
Jesus,
The-
dude, what
the-
are you doing to it?
No, I'd assume if that it's the works that they haven't fully fixed it yet. If I die, like my internet
You
just
know what?
yep.
I mean, it's amusing enough that your upload is perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so apologies. It's gonna sound a bit crap for everyone else.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm trying,
And
but also I'm slowly giving in to sleeping.
Hmm.
We can make this a somewhat quick session.
Have to,
there's just-
because
Can I
it won't be.
decide if Lucian's telling us the truth, the full truth, nothing but the
But
truth?
the truth, roll an
Oh.
insight.
Hell yeah, I just want to roll insight because I got an update on it.
I don't remember where that quote's
So I'll
from.
just fall inside on him. We don't trust him.
It's from.
it's gonna be off to a great start.
Agnes doesn't trust anyone as soon as she sees them unless they're dead. And even then, she doesn't trust them to not reanimate themselves.
Does Agnes trust me?
He didn't say he was sent to find you guys. He was told that he may run into you.
God, Chad. Okay.
Yes, but I'm informing you that is specifically the way he was told. And it's a person to which you know of. As for Savangel, you are able to do a roll and do a sort of ta-da, and then realize no one's really paying attention. Sort of grumble to yourself. As for Arsene, I mean, he purposely didn't tell you his reasons to be looking into the ruins,
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
everything else he seems to be quite forthright about.
Okay, I have no qualms about that one. Nice. Just wanted to show I have +5.
Just wanted to show off your new fancy roll, didn't you?
You did. I don't get to roll insight often. It's always you and me roll deception. Because I actually say something.
It's like you say so, it's like, well, that's just a downright lie. Let's see how well you're doing that one.
I'm so bad at lying now. Oh. And
Atlas, seeing Willow's internet speeds, I'm very sad. I'm sad.
I know, it's depressing, isn't it?
How?
Anyway.
Really, really good internet connection or bad?
Oh, gotcha.
Because it's at the uni. Unis are supposed to have good internet connections,
Oh.
or there will be riots.
I mean, it's also the fact that don't forget that they have to share that connection, and the more people are using it, the slower it will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, university Wi-Fi sucks.
The university that I went to had amazing Wi-Fi because we were all engineering/science people. So if our internet speed went below a certain threshold, there would be riots from a bunch of nerds.
Wow. You're so lucky. We tried to fix ours and it just did not work. Goddamn version. Anyway, ruins.
Slight sidetracking.
Ruins.
Fune's going to chime in saying, you guys graciously visited by our now dead. It was a goblin, right?
Nope, this is not a goblin. This is a. Well, it's not something you know what it is. It's a grey-skinned humanoid about your height.
I was graciously visited by our now dead friend here. My way towards the ruins that are nearby.
Oh,
Would you like to tag along with me for this?
I don't mind. I don't mind. Your reasons are good. We're going the same way. You know, there's more of these things.
Do I know if there was more than one ruin on this island, Nate?
Ruins, as far as you have found, there is only the ruins of the town on the mountainside. As for if there are more of these creatures, you don't know, but you assume there might be, considering it followed you out of the ruin when you just did a quick scouting trip.
Minus.
Oh, I would like there to be more ruins. Let's go to these ruins.
If you are all ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready. Is everyone ready? Shall we go?
Ready.
Ready it is.
She pats Lucian on the head.
It's like, thank you. This is already messy hair.
Yes. Paranoid Agnes to the rescue.
Forever paranoid Agnes.
I know she has good reasons. Doesn't mean she's not paranoid.
Cerno's ready to go. I'm just trying to figure out if the people are bloody saying anything about the fucking internet.
Alright, so you guys set off once again. Traveling through the jungle, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
I scout. I go on ahead, of course.
That's right. Make a perception check.
Hell yeah. Roll
Alright.
20 feels bad for me.
You guys spend the next hour and a half or so traveling through the jungle. Lucian, you find that traveling with this group, you are actually traveling at significantly faster speed than when you travel yourself through this jungle, and you assume it may be to do with the person who is leading you through, sort of weaving you round the denser thickets and undergrowth. Undergrowth? Undergrowth. However, I've seen you're approaching another clearing, and something doesn't feel quite right. You pause, and the line of people slowly following behind you catches up and pauses as well. And squinting through the tree line, you notice what appears to be a skeleton just lying in the center of the clearing. There does appear to be some form of chainmail armor, perhaps, adorning the skeleton. I would say Arsene just does point this out, and you can now all see in this clearing. It wasn't directly ahead of you; it was sort of to the side, and Arsene was making her way around it. But sort of glint of the light off the gem. You're too far away to make out the skull. The glint of the light off the chainmail sort of drew Arsene's attention and pointed it out to you guys.
Taught Night Eyes to share the mental image of this thing in front of us.
You're over like 60 feet away at this moment in time.
Can I hide?
Certainly can.
Oh, no, that's not the end button. God damn it. It moved.
Yeah,
Oh,
think
funny
you're
enough.
stealthy.
I was gonna shoot it. And it's like, so I like motion to my bow. Like, should I? Yeah. No? Yeah, no? Again, I nod.
Sorry, what?
I'm motioning to my bow. I was like, should I shoot it? Oh, yeah. No. Yes. No. No? Okay. Last time I shot something, it did turn out to be a dragon. Okay. I don't shoot it.
Alright, I'm just gonna have to accept that the internet's gone to shit.
For now, yeah.
Mother Hubbards. It was fine.
From,
What?
from the position where you currently are, it appears that the skeleton isn't entirely intact. It does appear to be missing its legs. You can't really see them where they are at the moment. There is a few items also seemingly scattered around it. Longsword sort of just lying in the dirt, and a bag also lying further afield from the skeleton, but also nearby. Yes, a bag.
Cerno,
It's like some sort of satchel backpack.
Cerno's gonna move up.
You're over
Towards-
60 feet away at the moment, Joe.
Cerno's gonna
You
move up
haven't said
towards
you moved.
beside Arsene. Wherever Arsene is, because I assume Arsene's up front.
Arsene is up front, but she's about 50 feet away.
Cerno's gonna move past Arsene. And
Stealthily or not?
cautiously, maybe not stealthily, but cautiously, like, expecting something, possibly, gonna walk up towards it.
Alright.
Good.
Mm.
Quick question.
Yep.
I plot night eyes on
Lucian,
it.
could Lucian cast detect magic?
He certainly can if you want to. With casting detect magic, it's a 30-foot sphere around you.
Can I just have a moment, please? Because the internet's back. I'm so happy!
Oh, congratulations, Comet.
To reward you for
The
this,
streets
To
don't
reward you
exist
for your
anymore!
internet coming back, you can now hear how Cerno dies in glorious, uncrackly quality. I mean, what?
and Arsene dumps night eyes on Cerno's head.
I'm so happy! I'm so happy!
All right. For Lucian, detect magic. From detecting magic, you notice a few things. There isn't much. From where you
Do I
guys are
need to
currently
roll for
stood.
this?
No, detect magic is just something which happens. So where you guys
Cool.
are currently stood, there is no magic which you wouldn't expect, except for around a couple of your new traveling companions have dots of light glowing on them for certain things. The cat has a ring around her finger, is glowing. For the sorceress, there appears to be a dagger. No, Agnes isn't the one with the dagger, is she? The staff to which she's holding, her boots, a shard of obsidian which is tucked into her belt, and and the mage armor around her, and a small bag are glowing. As for the tiefling, a small dagger tucked in her belt along with her longsword. For Boar, I don't think Boar actually is carrying anything magical. And for Cerno,
That would be my...
he appears to have a knife-like, not a dagger, but a knife-like shape just glowing in his pack as he moves out of the radius.
What about my armor? Isn't that magical?
It is and it isn't. So it's treated as a magical item, but adamantine is just a very rare metal.
Okay. So,
No.
other than that,
oh,
I don't have anything
We'd be
magical.
glowing.
Question, would you count the book? What does the book do?
Actually, yes, the book gives off.
Don't you still have the melty butter knife?
Yeah, I have the
Yeah,
mouse
no,
butter
that-
knife. That's what
That's
was
what I
the first
described as the knife in his bag. There is also actually quite a blinding light of magic emanating from Cerno's bag as well, which would be the book as he steps out. But other than that, nothing flags up in your detect magic. Cerno, you approach the skeleton.
It has scrolls though.
The scrolls are not okay. So they are technically magical, but they wouldn't be picked up via detect magic, since they aren't. I mean, they are sort of infused with magic, but they're not a enchantment or.
I'm gonna Jam. I'm going to copy paste that. Too late. I got it. I got it.
Dummies and dice behind the scenes.
Welcome to behind the scenes.
Wow, Jam, wow.
That is
Amazing.
amazing.
So the scrolls, they're an interesting one. They're not quite. If you looked closely enough, he might notice them. They're not quite magic in themselves. They're semi more close to suspended.
Oh boy. Here we
What do you have,
go.
Element?
Cerno's up here. He's all alone. He's gonna die. Hey,
Oh,
hey,
no,
hey.
I
Sono,
put
as
night
you-
eyes with him. I put night eyes on his head when he went past.
Yeah, look, I didn't have time to figure out exactly where everyone was.
Sorry.
So
I've been
you,
asleep apparently.
you guys were traveling in
Well
the
done,
this
Ninja.
direction, but further, more to the south. It was Arsene's noticing of the glint which actually brought your attention to this, and so you started to move towards this clearing. Arsene noticed a skeleton wearing chainmail in front of you guys. Agnes, your mage hand has a reach of 30 feet. The bag is far over here. The sword is sort of lying around here. Sano, you noticed that. Actually, roll a perception check, Sano.
Okay. Wait, I don't know if that's a +5 or not now. Let me double check. Yes, it is.
So Sano, you noticed that it's very weird. The armor, looking at the armor, it seems like it's been pierced a lot, and sort of it doesn't look like how you would imagine if a person just keeled over dead and then time slowly removed, and they sort of rotted to nothing but bones. And the bones look very, very white, somewhat similar to what you've seen sticking out one or two of your friends' bodies whenever they get a bit too badly injured.
Okay.
This, and sort of looking around, there seems to be a lot of sort of scuff marks all over this clearing.
He's gonna lean sort of down, look down, sort of look at its face, and go, "Hello." Like,
It's
Does
just a
Lucian see this?
skeleton. Yeah, Lucian can see this, but it's out of the range for the detect magic. Lucian is down here currently. Be careful where I click. There we go.
oh, we can see.
Ignore the trees
We
moving.
see
I just keep on
Lucian's
accidentally
little
clicking
art
them.
now. Yay. They're pretty.
It's so cool.
So pretty. I notch an arrow just in case.
Yes,
They're
Agnes,
pretty.
at this point you can just about reach the head. Also, who did we lose?
You lost someone?
Before I heard a bladink. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, everyone's still here. Okay. Eternal, as you're sort of saying hello, you see this sort of spectral hand just appear, grab the skull, and lift it into the air.
No, it's not like the flaming laughing skull, is it?
No, he sees a spectral hand grab the skull and
I
just
just
bring
see
it
the
up.
skull start moving, and then I realize the hand afterwards. Agnes! Don't do
Any
that!
reaction on the skeleton?
Well, the skull was sort of propping up part of the back, and the skeleton kind of goes as it's one or two of the backbones just sort of fall out of place.
Okay.
Just
Sono's
throw
general
it.
look at this. This skeleton appears to be picked clean and then hastily sort of just thrown back down.
The armor
No.
looks ruined, right?
Ruined chainmail armor at this point.
I'm going
Just throw the skull
I'm gonna
away.
carefully circle the thing around to the longsword, which was here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna circle around to the longsword. Not taking my eye off the skeleton. Gonna
Well, I
pick
mean,
up
it doesn't have a
this-
head anymore.
I'm still look. I'm
Is
not
everyone
taking.
else just still hiding in the bushes?
I'm not taking my
I
eyes
have-
off
Still
it.
being
I have
extra stealthy
an
as a
arrow.
cat.
I'm
I
not
have an
taking
arrow
my
drawn.
eyes off it. I pick up the sword.
All right.
I'm
you
going
pick
to the
up sword,
bag.
And Agnes is going to the bag.
Ready to shoot when needed.
It's a relatively well crafted sword by the looks of it, Cerno. There's the blade doesn't seem damaged. It seems to be well looked after. Relatively well balanced for a longsword.
I don't feel any arcane properties from it at all.
Hard to tell. Make an Arcana check.
That's just a +1. Okay. 8.
Ooh,
I mean, it's kept in very good condition. I mean, someone cares for this sword.
I don't think
Or
I can.
cared for this sword.
I don't think I can even wield long swords. Yeah, no, I
I
can't.
don't think so. Otherwise, I would have given you talent.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep a hold of the sword. Just like in my offhand. I'm gonna switch it over to my offhand and leave my main hand ready to like grab my scimitar out or something.
Oh, shit, I just realized something. You will find that the entire screen's going to go black. Don't mind it. It's just because I realized there's something which I've forgotten.
The dragon. He forgot to put the dragon on the screen.
Something comes down from the sky and burns us all to dead.
All to
Mhm.
dead.
Or
Yes,
from underground.
Congratulations, Comet.
Black out and wake up in the Shadowfell.
I mean,
Agnes is very happy.
yeah, Agnes would not complain at all.
I'd be
Mwahaha.
upset because I want to go to these ruins.
There you go.
I don't know.
Quickly looks around.
Tree moves.
Same.
What do I find in the bag?
Right, rummaging through the bag, you actually find several things.
Hey.
And if I remember where the hell I left, there we go. Rummaging through the bag, there's a few things which you find. There's the sort of expected adventuring gear. There's a crowbar, some 50 foot of hemp rope. But there's two things which mostly have your interest. A coin purse. And as you open it, you can't but help let out a little gasp as you realize every single coin in there is platinum, all 24 of them.
Ooh, damn.
Wow.
Nice.
And a letter.
Mm.
Dear
Which...
diary.
Dear diary, today I got eaten. Oh no. To which, Jam?
He messaged Am.
You have a letter.
Ooh.
Wisp.
Letter. You've got mail.
Whisper, whisper.
Their email is here.
I actually got post that wasn't spam for. Oh, that's a poor first start. I hope this letter finds you in good health. Mm-hmm.
So everyone else just sees Sano sort of weighing up a sword in his hand. Agnes just pick up a bag, throw a few things out, pull out two things as the bag drops to the ground, sort of pocket one, and flip open the letter and start reading.
Pretty much.
Standing down,
Typical
like,
Agnes.
slowly start inching toward the body.
All right.
All stealthy cat-like.
Bye.
Oh,
Cian's
can-
going to just kind of look around, see if there's anything else we might have missed.
All right. Well, as you approach Sano, you notice that the sword he is holding does indeed radiate magical energies.
Wow.
Going to warn Cerno about this,
Yes.
can he?
Yeah, you can. This is something which you probably would have been used to. It means there's some form of enchantment upon the blade, be it good or bad. You don't know, but there's an enchantment upon it.
Okay.
To put down that blade.
Okay. I'm gonna put it down.
Detecting some form of aura on it. I can't determine whether it's good or downright bad.
You can, however, tell that it is. Sorry, I just actually need to check this. I think it would be evocation. Yeah, evocation magic.
Zerno's just gonna
Evo-
wipe his hand.
Evocation is used in creating, normally damaging.
It's basically just the standard type of enchanted weapon.
Not standard. Evocation is used with your spells like magic missile, fireball, firebolt, but evocation isn't just limited to that. It does offer other sort of spells. So it's an interesting one. It's normally sort of damage, but it can sort of borderline creation as well. So you can have things like Big B's hand, which is essentially a giant fist which fights for you. You can also lightning, cold, flames, cure wounds is also evocation, and so are
Atlas,
several.
you have a
light
problem.
spells.
Atlas, you may have a problem.
So spells like light, darkness, dawn, daylight, fairy fire, all that sort of stuff is also evocation.
So it's a different enchantment from what Talon has.
Yes.
No.
Is Ninja still awake?
I don't know.
At the current moment.
Yes. Okay.
He's
Mm,
dead.
Is Boar just hanging around out back?
pretty much.
Boar's
I'm
doing
really
some business.
sorry. Boar's just hanging out.
Oh,
Can I tell what killed this person?
Make a medicine check.
Savangale's going to
You
ritually
couldn't
cast
have done
Identify on the blade.
investigation. Couldn't done investigation. You
Nope.
sure? You
Medicine.
sure?
I'm
Oh,
sure.
I like that joke, Purple.
hey.
Mm,
And we're not a half orc celebrity, quote unquote
Oh.
celebrity.
Celebrity warlock.
So eating blades.
Is that a 19 on your medicine?
Yes.
All right. Well, from what you can discern, it's definitely dead. Been dead maybe a day. What killed it? Very hard to tell. No soft tissue. It's all been, as far as you can tell, stripped off, probably for eating.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Did hear you, Purple. That takes what, 10 minutes?
Yep.
So you are starting to cast Identify Ritual.
We shouldn't stay around here too long.
okay.
No.
I still have my bow, my arrow, not just in case. Don't worry.
And draws his long sword.
Boar's
just-
patient defense.
All right. And as you all do this,
What is that?
I would like you to roll initiative.
Oh, those look those look
What are
Oh,
those look friendly.
what are those? Are they?
I'm trying to figure out. So they're tree stumps, I'm
That's a
assuming.
9 for me.
Yeah, so essentially what I've just made disappear are all the leaves, so you can essentially see where
I
the
got a
stump is.
20. Shit.
I can probably activate the turn order.
Right, Nate, before we start this, I'm really confused what my armor class is meant to be before.
Maybe.
Your armor class is meant to be 11. Your armor class currently is at 14.
Okay, so it has changed it.
No, I think I set it like a couple of sessions ago and never unchanged it. Agnes, no, Savangel, Lucian,
All right.
Arsene, Boar. That's all of you guys.
That's
for-
okay then. That's nightmare fuel.
Was that
God.
right?
No,
+1.
No,
you rolled a
Oh.
201-sided dice.
That
I won't do
exists?
that.
no,
No.
it's just a random number generator, so it can pretty much randomly number generate anything.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, so
Oh,
what is
hi.
You forgot the plus. You forgot the plus in between the 0 and the 1.
Okay.
If you press up, the up arrow, it will bring back what you last rolled and what you last typed, and then you can just insert the plus if you want to. These things have a
Nice.
dexterity of all right. I can get rid of that creature because I don't think you guys are going to run into it now.
Oh, there's 4 now. There was 3 before.
We
Now
missed
there's
a
4.
creature. Hell yeah. Ain't we amazing? Saved our hides. Because we had to go by the beach.
My
There was
goodness.
some like tentacle monster.
Also, Odd, you can add your initiative by clicking on the number and typing it in.
Oh, don't confuse the poor man.
What's
Do I add a 1 or a 5?
Hmm.
Yours is counted as a 5, but in any tide breaking situations, you would be counted at below anyone else. So, like, if someone rolled a 2 and theirs is +2, so they got 4, you'd still be above them. But if someone rolled a 5, you would just automatically be the last to take that initiative on turn 5. And Ninja got a 22. All right, these creatures got a 7. Oh yeah, a 15. Oh yeah, a 3. Oh yeah, and a 20.
Oh yeah.
Aww.
Oh yeah.
That's so cute.
Hey.
So wait, are they going first or am I?
You go first because you are a player.
Ooh.
You are.
All right.
Bark.
It is Boar's
Borkity
turn.
bork bork. Bork bork. Bork bork.
What's
Borkity
up?
bork. Bark bark.
Alright,
Bark.
so are any of the creatures near me?
Ooh, did we
Uh,
spot them?
At this, okay, so as Lucian sort of draws his blade and looks around, you guys hear several thumps as these weird snake-like creatures start fall out of the trees and sliver towards you guys.
Do I get to attack them since I had an arrow notched ready?
Well, it would be a surprise round, but I would say since you were looking out for danger, you are not surprised. By the way, this big guy here, he's a large creature. The rest of them are medium creatures.
Uh-oh.
So
I'm from
Arsene,
Australia and these creepy crawlies freak me out.
they are snake-like creatures. And as this one approaches, seeing everyone, it probably is going to approach Lucian actually. So now we have to do now me has to do.
Thinking like a
Okay.
snake monster.
So it's going to spend its entire turn coming up to say hi, and as it approaches Lucian, you notice that it's what is essentially.
Wait,
you'd
is this a
expect-
surprise round?
Yeah, it's a surprise round for everyone apart from Arsene.
Oh, neat.
So as this monster approaches Lucian, you notice that where it looks like a snake, it doesn't have a head, and this is soon quickly realized that instead of a head, what appears to be the front of the snake suddenly splits into 4 as these 4 tentacle-like things reveal a beak at the
I was
end
kidding
of this
about the
worm-like
tentacles.
creature.
Oh.
I know you were, which is
Oh.
why it's hilarious because you still got the tentacle encounter despite not being on the beach. So that is that one's turn, which means this one also outbeats Arsene's initiative as it comes slithering out and it tries to chomp on Agnes.
Uh-oh.
I'm really tempted to go grab that monster in the refrigerator.
No.
Oh, ninja.
A 20 total. I believe that hits.
Mhm.
Oh no.
2d6 plus 2. That's 8 points of damage, and you are now grappled by this creature.
What?
As these 4 tentacles sort of just stick into your back. Not really expecting it. As you then you feel the beak pushing into your back, and it rolls a 17. Sorry. It now deals an
What is that?
d6 plus 2. Oof. Additional 8 points of damage. Alcine, it is now your turn.
I was originally going to attack the big one, but seeing that one in the back start attacking Agnes, I'm going to move over to. What can I get? 30, so I can get over there. Over to here. Bonus action, Hunter's Mark, please.
Certainly.
At second level. I don't know what second level Hunter's Mark does. Wait.
It doesn't do anything, I don't believe.
No, it just means I can maintain it longer. Never mind. First level Hunter's Mark.
First level Hunter's Mark. All
I
right.
don't need it for 24 hours. And then
I shall finish trying to get the music.
two attacks. Since that's a new
2
thing I can
attacks.
do.
Yep.
1, 2.
Oof.
Both of those hit.
1, 2.
Oof.
That is a combined 18 points of damage.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Oh, and I tell Night Eyes to get the fuck out of there. Night Eyes goes. He has a flying speed of.
60.
Yeah, he just goes. Noom.
Yum.
I go to the down. Noom. He went down that way.
Hey, run away!
He just.
This one's going to take the opportunity to try and nom on Sano.
Try me. Ha!
You hear the sounds of these claws hitting into your back as you sort of jump as they try and chomp on you, and then they're going to try and chomp on Savangal.
Not the tail.
Which I believe hits with a 23.
Yes, it does.
2d6 plus 2. 11 points of slashing damage as the tentacles cut into you. And does 16 hit Savangal? Unfortunately, it does, which means it gets another d6 plus 2 of damage as the beak pushes into your back as it tries and it bites down. So you take an additional 6 points of damage.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
god!
have- Agnes, the tentacles and Savangal, the tentacles do release from you when it bites with its beak.
Oh, so you're not grappled.
So we're not
after biting.
You're not restrained and not grappled. Yeah.
So I just realized
Hey,
I don't need my hand axe.
Hmm.
I don't need my hand
Oh.
axe anymore.
Oh,
No, you don't.
Boar is as powerful as the hand axe.
Well,
His unarmed strike is a d6 plus 3 now. However, hand axe does give you range. It was a surprise round, so only Arsene and the Grix had a combat round. Pretty much everyone else was just counted as. What was it?
surprise.
There's like a specific. You're counted as, I think it was, incapacitated for the surprise round, which simply means you can't take actions or reactions or movement.
Now, I'm curious, do I have the multiple attacks now? Do I have 2 unarmed strikes in the beginning and then I have my bonus action, or
Yes. So when it says attacks per action, that means if you take your action to do attacks, you get 2 of them.
Oh,
If you
okay.
take your
I
if
just
you-
saw that, dude. Like, okay, I'm now like slowly waking up because it's fight time, and I need
if
to
you
eat.
take your action, say it's Arsene. If Arsene takes her action to cast a spell of 1 action, she does not get she doesn't get an attack after that. It's if you use your action for attacks, that is how many attacks you get. you then get your bonus additional attack as your bonus action. So yes, you can technically do 3 attacks per round now, Ninja.
You mean 4?
If you spend a key point, you can do 4.
Okay.
I just realized my cantrips do more damage now. Oh,
Yes, level
yay.
5
Yep.
cantrips damage increases by a die.
So
That
Well-
creature takes up those 4 spaces. It's a large creature.
just move down one.
You know you can control him, right?
I know, I was switching over to Ding, but you didn't give me time. And I'm going to run up and Superman punch.
15 hit. Oh, wait, no, I need to check the other one. 15 does not hit, I'm afraid. You kind of
15
punch
doesn't
its
hit.
somewhat scaly hide, and one of its tentacle just sort of flicks in your direction.
Alright. Then I'm gonna go for whatever I see as the lower jaw. and
It's a
punch
beak.
upwards. Yeah, I'm gonna punch the lower beak. Are you fucking kidding me?
Nice.
As you try and go for some form of uppercut, another tentacle sort of goes in your direction and have you stand back and avoid the damage being done to you. You have a bonus action attack.
I do have the bonus action attack, which I will use, and I will just basically kick it.
The kick hits.
Ooh.
In annoyance of it predicting both of your punches, you roundhouse kick it to the side of what you would assume is some part of its head and roll your damage. D6 plus 3.
Yeah, it's D6 plus 3. I had to look real quick. D6. This is when Ninja actually wakes up.
You deal 6
Yeah, you
points
get
of
to
damage.
punch stuff.
Ooh, actually, I need
Yeah,
to quickly
punch
check
stuff.
about the monk. I need to check the monk. Give me 1 second. Class as official monk.
Okay, well he does that. Screw all of you, I'm gonna go grab that mango monster.
No.
No.
Ninja,
Uh,
think about your future.
hmm.
Think about your intestines.
Are we
You're
about?
gonna be staying up more than 24 hours. That's not good for you. Don't throw up.
I just love the irony in all this.
Yeah.
I don't have 2 in one day.
I am not going to let
Alright.
you live this down, and you know it.
I believe it's to be Agnes's turn now.
Hi, sword burst.
Swordburst has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, yeah.
Juice.
It makes a 13. What's your
Wahahaha.
I'm assuming you've pulled the stone out now. You've got
Yes.
the staff in one hand, stone in the other. Alright,
Yes.
roll your damage. Both die.
Fair.
5 points of damage. Decent. Anything
Um,
else you do?
can I leave?
You can. It's going to try and hit you with a tentacle.
Yum, 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 yum.
It unfortunately hits. No, it doesn't hit because you're
Nope.
at 14 rather than 11. So you are able
Mwah.
to release the blades, and as the blades are spinning, sort of dive forwards and run, and you feel one of the
Nope,
tentacles
no.
just about to hit you before the arcane ward activates, and it just scrapes along magical energy. All right, it's Big Chubby Guy's turn.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Big Chubby Guy has hard decision to make. Which food to eat first?
The one that just kicked it in the face, or the one that didn't do anything?
It's actually going to decide both of you.
That's
So the
fair.
the first
It's only
attack,
got one mouth.
wait,
yeah, the
when
first
you can
attack
vote.
is going to be with its tentacles towards Lucian. With a 13, I believe that misses. Yep. However, as the tentacles streak forwards towards Lucian, or you go, phew, it's not trying to eat me, as you feel this, as you notice it's, oh shit, that was meant to be a 7, but either way it still misses. Yeah, this big guy can hit.
Ooh.
Mhm.
It rolls an 18, however, and Bora, as you think, phew, it's not trying to whack, as its tail just slaps you across the face.
Ooh.
Ow! God damn it!
Yeah.
Ow.
You could say Yeah.
Deals 6 points of damage to you because I rolled so terribly low.
Good.
That's
That's
a
a good
Lucian,
thing.
it's your turn.
I'm going to pull an Agnes and use Sword Burst.
ooh.
Alright.
You gotta hit.
All right.
Okay.
It has to make a dexterity saving
No,
throw.
you might hit me one of them. You'll be fine.
No, it'll only hit the Grick, the Alpha Grick, and it has to make
Could
a.
get a 5 foot rather than a 10 foot.
It makes a natural 1. So roll your 2 die.
Wow.
As it's a bit too busy feeling pleased with itself for slapping Boar around the face.
Mm-hmm.
What roll do
you-
I need to make for this one?
That is 2d6. So /r space
Okay.
2d6.
Well, I'm awake and
Or just
The
that on
juice is
its own?
That's it.
Yeah. There you go, and you deal 6 points of damage to this creature.
Nice.
All right. That is your action.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. If it wasn't for Comet being, yay, my internet's back, I would have probably slept through all of this. It was, I literally woke up to, yay, it's fixed. I was like, what the I was like, oh god.
Mhm.
So I've missed like half of what the hell's going on, and I'm really sorry.
We saw the skeleton and that was about it.
Yeah, essentially just making your way through the forest after greeting Lucian and everything. Is that your turn, Odd?
What else can I do exactly?
You have so
That
oh
is
God.
now immortalized on Screen Jam.
Yeah.
You can pretty much all you have is movement. If you want to move, if you go away from 5 feet, it will be able to attack you. But you can skirt around it, so you could move to say here, and it wouldn't be able to attack you. Yep. All right. That's Lucian's turn. This Grick isn't very happy that its meal just ran away.
Oh.
By the way, calculating from its body or the vast majority of its head.
Who does it dislike?
Also, who does it go for? Who does it go for?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Well,
catch,
it just
So-
it just bit the sorceress, and it got swords in its face. So it's going to decide that perhaps this one will be slightly less of a painful.
I just shot 2 arrows into it.
You didn't see that then.
Yeah, I was going to say, but that was at range, and now it's up close, and it's going to try and nom your face
Oh,
Nom, 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 nom,
don't
nom,
need
nom.
more
or
spells.
hit you with tentacles with a 17.
It does hit.
Unfortunately, so.
This is
That is the 2d6 plus 2.
right. Make a Constitution save.
Yep, as it. Oh, fuck it. Just roll another d6, brain, because you forgot to. Well, that's 14 points of damage.
Like,
Shit.
Your constitution, you have to.
Oh,
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 there goes my spell.
damn.
don't forget you've expended a spell slot for primeval awareness as well.
Yeah, I marked off 2.
And unfortunately, as the tentacles latch into you and the beak tries to try and nom on you, with a 9, you're able to sort of hit it with the back end of your bow, but in the frantic sort of movements, you forgot to continue focusing on your spell, and you feel the presence of the understanding of this creature. Arsene, it is now, however, your turn.
Am I? It's not grappling me anymore because it
No.
decided to do the bite
So
attack.
when it essentially sort of like grapples you to then bite you and then releases you.
Sorry, I always forget every single time I do this. Drop bow, pull out talon.
Yep, you can swing it.
Can I hunter's mark
Uh,
again?
you're dropping the bow, aren't you?
Yes.
So dropping the bow and pulling out the sword, it doesn't take anything. It's if you stow one and pull out the other.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
So dropping it, you can hunter's mark it yet again,
Sweet. And then
and
Talon.
then you can roll your attacks.
God damn it, Talon. So I'm assuming 18 hits.
Yeah, it does.
And it Talon.
Nice.
Why are there two bows?
I dropped one.
There's one in her picture that I can't get rid of.
But that's just so to
So I don't
act as
forget.
somewhat of a reminder that she's dropped it.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, your
Wait,
first
I
attack
thought-
does hit, dealing 14 points of damage. Nice. This
Nice.
creature looks like it's on its last wiggle, since it doesn't have legs. And it seems to be understanding that maybe it should have stuck with the sorceress.
Uh-huh.
Sono,
Wiggle,
your
wiggle,
turn.
wiggle.
Okay. Oh, do. Okay, I'd like to summon my bear spirit, please. Now, I'm not sure where I'm summoning it. I want to see where where its range is.
Oh.
Alright, he's just gonna sit there. That's a nice place. Nate!
That works.
Nate, stop sniffing in my ear. It's weird.
Don't say that, he'll do it out.
So,
I instantly just took my headphones off.
And
That when he does that with his dogs around, suddenly it's like everybody sniffing it. I was like, oh
yeah, I sniff at dogs. Dogs either sniff back or they just look at me like, what a weirdo.
Indy gives you
Alright, everyone gets the... Wait. It'd be plus...
It's increased, I believe, because you're...
Yeah, it'd be plus 10 now, I think.
Ooh.
Are we putting that in the green?
Yeah.
Yeah, put in the green. Where is it?
5 plus your druid level, so yeah, you guys get 10 instead of 9 now.
Nice.
10 extra hit points for you all. Put it in the
I'm
green.
almost up to max health.
I have just realised that druids have speech of the woods. You learn to speak, read, and write. Sylvan and beasts can understand your speech, and you gain the ability to decipher their noises and emotions.
So you could talk to Night Eyes.
He could get general ideas from it.
Oh yeah, because he's not a beast. Oops.
I mean, he would get general ideas from beasts. Well, it wouldn't be like a conversation. You need to speak with animals for that. But he could get general ideas. He could essentially communicate on the same level as them as you can communicate to Night Eyes. As Night Eyes can communicate to you telepathically. He can get sort of senses of ideas and stuff. All right, so the bear just plops down. That's your bonus action.
Yep, and... Ooh, hang on. My booming blade, is that? That's an action I make with an attack. Alright, I'm going to scimitar attack it with booming blade, so let me just double check my attack
So
roll.
you deal a D. So you roll your attack.
Yep, that's... plus 5. Nah.
No, that doesn't hit. So what happens now with this spell is if you hit, you roll your normal damage die. You roll
Plus
an
the-
additional D. You
yeah.
roll an additional D8, and if it moves, it
I
takes
get to
2d8
roll.
of damage.
Yeah. I'm liking this.
And then at level 11, it takes an additional 2d8 and takes 3d8 if it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, as you spin around and try and
Nah.
slash at this creature, it's just like, nah, mate, nah.
Man.
It is, however, its turn, and it decides that it's going to try and nom on you again. 14?
That misses.
Ooh,
I'm a
that
plus
does
of
miss.
16, baby.
It
Yeah.
hisses slightly and
Show off.
turns to try and eat you from a different angle. Savengale, your turn.
He would like to insult the one that's close by our scene.
Oh, thank you.
This one?
Kill
Alright.
stealer.
Kill stealing.
I was about to punch it to death.
It rolls a 14. What is Savangal's?
14.
Oh, I'm afraid it saves.
Wow.
Mine.
And then she would like to cast Healing Word on Agnes.
Oh,
You're like half health as well.
She's 1 HP more than you, Jam. Take it.
For sure.
You get 5 now.
Hey.
All right. If that's all Savangal's going to do,
Yep.
the creature's going to try and eat her again.
no.
Oh my
Uh,
fucking god.
Oh.
This is like the
Oh,
first time
shit.
Savangal's gone unconscious.
Really should have taken that heal.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
You just killed your
well, that's-
girlfriend's character. How do you feel?
16.
That's 16.
16. That is, unfortunately, Savangal.
Wait, no,
Unconscious.
remember, plus 10 health.
Oh, plus the 10 health. So 16. Shit, what was health? She was on 14 plus 10, so she's now on 8.
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a reason I summon that bear every fight.
All right. It's going to try and bite her now.
Oh.
For
Mhm.
fuck's sake, stop rolling well, dice. I tell you what this is, Purple. This is the dice's revenge for Ander not rolling above a 10 last session.
Reference.
Don't worry, I'll
Reference
have
to
my
6
revenge.
idiots, 1 dice. Reference to that awesome
Yeah,
show.
don't worry. Well, this one can't kill you. 4 points of damage. Savangal ain't looking too hot right now. Boar, your turn.
That's fine, you know.
Alright, what is the range for that flippin' hand axe?
What, thrown? I mean,
Yeah.
you personally have a range of 10 feet when you're fighting things anyway. You would be at
Actually,
disadvantage if you're throwing it.
Damn it,
What?
Atlas. I'm not eating anything.
Because you're making a ranged attack within the whilst you are in a whilst a creature is threatening you. Any ranged attacks when a creature is threatening you are at disadvantage.
But the kitty's in danger.
I mean, you don't have to look. You don't have. First of all, even if you didn't have a range of 10 feet, you wouldn't have to leave its attack range to be able to attack that creature. You could literally stand there. Second of all, you have a range of 10 feet with your melee attacks. You could stand here.
But, okay. Fine.
You don't take attacks of opportunity if you don't leave their threatened range, so you can kite around them,
Alright.
and you can make your 3 attacks.
Alright, I'm gonna slam the hand axe into the goods that hurts the cat.
All right.
Which, let me do just
Oh,
boop. Nope.
Unfortunately, 11 misses.
I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna do the Street Fighter swing fly kick to the big guy.
Unfortunately, that also misses.
I'm going to burn a key point to basically rapid fire punch the alpha.
All right. So roll 2 more attacks. 18 hits, 8
and
misses.
8.
You do 1
And
hit.
Go ahead and make it do screw it. Make it do a strength saving throw. If it fails, it gets pushed back 15 feet.
All right. Strength. Your. That would be DC 13
Yeah. That's 4 damage, by the way.
for damage. Strength saving throw, d20 plus. What is it? All right. Plus that number. That is a natural 20. Unfortunately,
Oh.
it does not get pushed back as you sort of finally manage to land a solid hit. And you see the force of your impact just sort of ripples down its snake-like body, and the beak then tries to bite your hand, and you quickly withdraw it.
Damn it.
All right. If that's all, Agnes, your turn.
Gonna punch it.
I assume you mean with
Okay.
shocking grasp rather than your actual fist.
Yes.
because that might start healing it. Otherwise,
It gives it out.
you so gently caress it that it heals. Right, roll your damage. There is a chance that you
God.
don't kill it, so roll your damage.
Kill stealer.
Mm.
Marcin.
No,
Claire.
it attacked me first.
Hey,
Come on,
Claire.
come on, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it.
Yes, all you had to do was roll more than 2 1s.
Nice.
How do you want to electrocute this poor, poor innocent snake creature just trying to feed itself and its non-existent family?
I just punch it in the middle.
So, Arsene, as you've drawn out talons, sort of the blood begins to come out slightly from one of the gash wounds that's left in you. You're ready for another strike, and you just see the entire thing just kind of seize up before wriggling and sort of flailing, and then just collapses to the ground as Agnes is just sort of fist still semi-punch motion, and a little bit of electric energy just crackling over it.
Mm-hmm.
It died because it was scared of me.
Sure, Han.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not scaring you, obviously.
All right. If that's Agnes's turn,
Aye.
this creature is now going to try and eat boar again.
Alpha Grick.
Nom, nom, nom.
This is a. Actually, no, it's not eating boar again. This is just trying to eat boar. That is a 22 to hit.
No, right?
No.
That picture is just no.
No.
Do you want me to send the other one?
Nope.
No. Jam,
That's
I'm an
19.
Australian. I've probably seen that thing in my backyard somewhere, okay?
That's
I don't know about your backyard, but it looks like
That
something.
hits. That's
yeah. That's 9
oh,
points of
shit.
damage against him.
So that's minus the 10 HP.
Yeah, I've minus your HP for you, Ninja.
Okay.
And 11 misses. It hits you with the tentacles. It, as you sort of take the brunt of the force, you then see the beak closing in, and you're able to sort of just knock it away. As for the tail, is then going to try and hit Lucian with a natural 1. It would go prone if it wasn't immune to it.
Ow.
As this tail, Lucian, you see this tail about to hit you. You prepare to dodge out of the way, and then you just hear this sort of thump from the from where Boar's standing, and the tail just sort of flails rapidly as it tries to wiggle away from Boar. All right, it is your turn, Lucian.
Okay, quick question.
Quick answer.
Can I use Lesser Restoration on Savangal?
That is not healing. Lesser Restoration doesn't heal, as in hit points. That can remove disease or conditions such as blindness, poison, and that sort of thing.
Right, then I'm going to attack Tall Ugly.
All right, with your longsword?
Totally.
Is that with your longsword, Odd?
Respond headphones. Yeah, I'm going to attack him with the longsword.
All right. Roll /R 2d20 plus 7. Since
Did it
you-
again. /R 2d20 plus 7?
/R space 2d20 plus 7. Oh, that is so unfortunate.
Oh.
Ow. Ouch. Get him out now, Odd.
so-
Get him out now.
You have 2 attacks per round. Its tail just soared past you. You can do this. It's not paying attention to you. As you go to swing one, you suddenly have to duck out the way of another tail trying to hit you. You sort of go, not going to interrupt me a second time. As you lunge forwards, the tail slams back, and this time it launches your longsword from your hand.
Oh.
It sort of twirls in the air before you hiss and summon it back to your hand.
Nice.
That is something which Eldritch Knights can do as a bonus action. They can essentially just retrieve their bonded weapons.
I was going to say, where would it land? Agnes is stood behind him.
It suddenly lands on Agnes. Oh,
Mm,
So you can have up to 2 weapons bonded like this. So
I
literally,
knew I didn't like you.
Lucian can leave his bow or sword just anywhere, and he can summon it to him whenever he feels like it.
2 weapons.
I'm assuming he
It's a
felt like
warrior kick.
Yeah, as a bonus action, sorry, you can have up to 2 bonded weapons, and as a bonus action, you can essentially just resummon the weapon into your hand. Which is
Anything.
why Eldritch Knights are so bloody useful when you have to go into a place which isn't allowed weapons, because they can just poof them back to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good, really.
Is it just Eldritch Knights who can do that?
There are other things which allow it, but it's a basic feature of the Eldritch Knight. Essentially, it's because an Eldritch Knight is a fighter, and fighters are going to be using melee weapons and possibly shields. So they're more than likely, unless they take the Warcaster feat, going to have to drop one of them to be able to perform the spell. So it allows them to essentially drop their weapon, perform the spell, and then just poof it back into their hand rather than having to pick it up.
Gotcha.
Can't Hexblade Warlocks use this too?
I cannot. Yeah, no, Hexblades can do the same.
I think so from when I played a Hexblade.
Yeah, but that's just their packed weapon.
Uh,
Whereas Eldritch Knights can only have 2 weapons at a time, but they can perform the ritual on any weapon, and then they can summon it.
mm.
And
So is-
because I still love the idea of an Eldritch Knight running around with a chair, I would allow some objects as well.
That's
because you
cute.
did it.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. If that will be Lucian's turn, Arsene, your turn.
If so, yeah.
Right. Putting away talent, picking up my bow. Guessing that's my bonus action.
Yep. As you pick
Um,
your bow up off your floor.
I'm still concentrating on Hunter's Mark, but not putting it on anyone because, of course, that's a bonus action to do. I'm putting Talon away. Why is Talon on the floor?
Oh wait, you're putting Talon away. Sorry,
Yeah.
my mistake.
If I'm gonna use up my bonus action, I'm gonna at least put it away.
Yeah, but then you also have to bend down and pick your weapon up, which isn't.
Oh,
I'll allow it for now.
okay. Thank you. I'm gonna move up just a wee bit. This is a good spot. I'm gonna shoot the Grick above Cerno.
All right.
Wait.
The one which
Can
is
I-
currently trying to eat him.
Savengals away.
I also
Yeah.
just realized I left my jacket at work.
Sorry, second. Okay, so two bow shots. Boom, boom.
Uh,
One hit.
1 miss, 1 hit.
Whee!
Ignoring that 6,
Hmm.
you do 9 points of damage.
Oh yeah, sorry. Instinctively clicked it.
All right. Sano, as you're sort of ducking and weaving, an arrow goes straight past your nose, and you kind of blink for a second before you see another arrow just slam into one of the tentacles reaching for your face.
Trick shot.
Ugh. Okay. Is it?
It is now your turn.
What kind of action is it to dismiss one of my spirits?
I don't think it's...
It doesn't
State.
state it, so it's up
Which
to
would
your
then be a free
choice.
action. So to dismiss it would be a free action. To call another one will just instantly dismiss one and make the other reappear.
Oh, okay.
So you can just call one and it makes the other one just wander off and the next one appear.
I'm gonna summon my unicorn spirit.
Mm.
And just sort of gets up, walks through Agnes, and just disappears off into the forest.
Thank you.
Rude.
And
Now
it's
look
just
at the
out of
bitty
the ground,
unicorn!
appears a horse, just going,
Okay.
as it just now glances around, grass just hanging from its mouth. The horn sort of glinting slightly in the light as it's sort of glancing. So, well, this isn't where I was.
Alright. And now I want to do Cure Wounds on Savangal. That's a 1d8.
Alrighty then.
That's a 1d8 plus 2. So you get 10, but then you also, let me double check this, I want to make sure I have the number right. You'll also get, where is it here?
Druid level, so +5, so that's 15 hit points regained.
Everyone gets plus 5 hit points. Like back to
slot
them.
that restores hit points
Including the 10 we
to
just.
any creature each choice in the aura also regains. Yeah, so 15. So Agnes and Arsene regain 5, and Boar all regain 5 hit points.
Or we regain, but do we keep the 10 for.
You, yeah, I believe you do.
Each creature of your choice in the aura.
I will
when
say,
you-
I'll say for now, yes.
It doesn't state what happens when it disappears.
It doesn't state when the bear spirit goes away, but I will say that they may fade eternal to after it disappears.
Mhm.
So for now, they're still there. All right. Well, it's the Grix's turn. It's going to sliver to here because it doesn't like getting pricked with arrows, and then continue trying to eat Sano. With an 18, it finally hits.
Finally.
Shush, they're easy. They're only challenge rating 2 creatures. Which critted. That's 10 points of damage to Sano. You no longer have your lovely bear to thank. It is, however, going to make another attack against you with another 18. That
Yep.
hits. It's an additional d6 plus 2 damage, which is an additional 5 points of damage to Sano.
Yep, minus.
33.
Thank you.
Savengale, your turn.
Alright, so she would like to take out her rapier and poke the one that's right next to Cerno.
All right, roll your attack. Yep, 21 hits. Roll your damage, d8 plus 3. All right, 8 points of damage. Very nice. Having been healed by Sano as he reaches out and sort of just slaps the back of your paw, you then just pull out your rapier and lunge forwards at this creature as it kind of bites down on Sano. And as it's a bit too busy trying to chomp on its meal, you're able to sort of pierce through this very scaly skin and cause a bit of damage. Is however the Grick, who was trying to eat you, isn't best pleased that its meal is now less likely to be its meal. And so it rolls a 12. I believe that misses. It does. And so it begrudgingly just flails its tentacles in your general direction. Boy, your turn.
That's not very polite.
And do you want to give Lucian inspiration?
Yes.
And now it's Boar's turn.
I'm going to focus all of my attack on the Alpha Glick.
All right, the big fat one.
Yeah. The
Point of
fat.
note, the only real difference between these creatures is their size and the fact this one seems fat. Pretty much the only
Fat
difference.
ass, eat this.
First attack misses, second attack just.
There's that one. And you know what? Just for the hell of it, I'll burn another key point.
First one misses, second one hits again.
And that's
Another 5 damage.
And let's do it to where it has to do dexterity saving the. Well, no. What is the? Oh, never mind, because it says when you hit it with a melee weapon attack.
Yep. Yeah, no, your fists are unarmed and you punch. Although, wait, hang on. What does it say? Let's see.
It says when you hit with a melee weapon attack, you can spend a key point to make it the target gets stunned until the end of my next turn.
Well, the opened hand technique. Starting when you choose this tradition at 3rd level, you can manipulate your enemy's key and harness your own. Whenever you hit a creature with one of the attacks granted by your Fury of Blows, you can impose one of the following effects on your target. Unless you're looking at... Oh, wait, are you looking at Stunning Strike?
I am looking at Stunning Strike, but I don't think that's right.
I think
Oh, no, okay, because it says another thing. Because I can do it, I can make it do,
I believe they do count as a. Yeah, no, it does count as a melee weapon attack.
okay, so I can have him do a stunning strike.
Yes.
To where
But
they
you have
can't
to
make a reaction until
spend
next turn.
another. You have to spend another key point to do so.
Well, you know
Which
what?
means you've burnt 4 of them if you do this.
Oh yeah, because I did you. Wait, no, because it was the
You've-
one.
Wait, is it 3 or is it 4?
It would be 3.
3. So you burnt 3, so you would only have 2 left.
If I would do that, just see if I can push him away, then.
All right.
Strength.
That is
saving
a dex, isn't it? Or is it strength for
throw.
pushing?
Strength 1.
Strength for pushing. All right. That is a 12 in total. I believe he gets pushed 10 feet away.
Whee!
Hello, Agnes.
Oh shit.
Your turn.
Fire.
What kind of fire?
Burning hand,
Burn,
which is
burn.
a dex save of 15. They have. And it's gonna engulf them completely. Aim it down a bit so don't hit Lucian. Not that mean.
Thank you.
That's his
I
sword.
mean, she doesn't like him, but you know.
She doesn't trust him at the moment, but that's dex saving throw, isn't it?
Yes.
Alrighty then. It rolls a 10 in total, so it takes the full brunt of this attack.
Oof.
Roll your damage.
It is that one. Yes.
3d6. 16 points. Nice.
Ooh, damn.
I'm guessing it's not plant based though, so it's not.
No, this is very much a creature with blood.
Bye bye.
Thirst for blood
And
too.
as you do so, it's going to try and nom you.
Oh,
Whack you with the tails. That's the thing which is in the direction.
freaking ball.
Yeah. D20 plus 7. Wow. It manages to miss.
Wahahaha. Well, it's on
It is-
fire. It makes sense.
It is now, however, its turn, and it's very unhappy with this turn of events.
I get attack of opportunity, correct?
Nope, you pushed. Wait. It was there. It is out of your threatened range.
Lucian does though.
Lucian gets an attack of opportunity, but you do not.
The
And the uni-
unicorn gets an attack of.
Yeah, the unicorn just the unicorn just
The
gets
unicorn-
the death stare.
Agnes, as you sort of backpedal and then just see this thing turn around and you go, oh shit, you just see the unicorn's head just slowly follow, and it's no longer chewing, its mouth is just slightly open. Odd, if you want to roll a d20 plus 7 to try and hit this creature as it runs away from you.
The unicorn's just like, what the? Where am I?
Hang on. 7?
Yeah, d20 plus 7. 22, you hit.
Ooh.
Right, roll a d. I assume you're wielding your sword with 2 hands? Or 1? 2 hands?
Yes.
I assume 2 hands, so roll a d10 plus 4.
Ooh.
Sure.
Space d10 plus 4.
Okay.
13 points of damage. Nice.
Nice.
As it slithers away towards Agnes, you are able to, this time with the tail not trying to hit you, slash down and deal a decent amount of damage to this creature. As it now tries to nom on Agnes's face with the tentacles. Jesus Christ. Well, frustrated, it's going to try and hit her with the tail again. Hey, it hits!
Oh.
Don't worry, the tail is significantly less damage than the tentacles.
Yeah, but Agnes is squishy. It doesn't matter how much damage.
It's only 2d6 plus 4. What's the chances of it rolling max? See? Only 10 points of damage.
This is a dangerous question to ask.
It is,
Oh,
isn't
you're
it?
on
No.
23. You're on 23, you no longer have the...
Yes. We're both trying to do it. Stop.
I'm just going to sliver here.
Why? Oh,
Lucian, your turn.
wait, no, I don't get attacked. No.
No.
Can I be able to move over towards where Agnes is and attack with sword?
Yep. So you have 30 feet of movement. So yeah, oops. You can. I was on the wrong one. So you can move up to. What was it? You can move up to. Shit, brain. 6 squares, and then make an attack. And so roll 2d20 plus 7 again. The 7 applies to both the d20s. It's just easier if we do it that way.
7, just double checking.
Yeah, 2d20 plus 7. Or just press the up arrow and then enter again to roll. 19 does, however, hit.
Yay!
And to roll another d20 plus 7. 26 also hits. So
Ooh.
roll slash R 2d10 plus 8. Both of your attacks hitting.
2d8
10
plus
plus
Oh,
8.
10.
Yeah, 2d10. Since you're wielding it with both hands. Nice. 17 points of damage.
Hot damn.
As Lucian, sort of annoyed, lunges after this creature, and as it's trying to hit Agnes with its tentacles and she's being able to duck out the way, he sees an opening as the tail slams around her face and is able to get 2 quick blows in, cutting and letting even more blood out of this creature. Arsene, your turn.
You can get over here. Oh yeah, I can get real far. I would like to Hunter's Mark the one behind Savengale, my bonus action. And then I'm gonna
Alright.
shoot it twice.
Roll your attacks.
What's that? Unos dos.
16 hits, and so does the 14 on this creature. Roll both your damages. That is 17 points of damage.
Yeah.
As 2 arrows land straight into the creature, and the tentacles sort of wriggle in pain. Cerno, your turn.
Okay. I would like to... Yeah, I'll just do Booming Blade. So... that... Nope!
Oh no.
As you swing the sword, your own blood and this creature's blood have mixed in a bit, and you accidentally let go, and it kind of thunk, just lands in the ground next to your foot, very close to chopping off a toe.
Oh.
You have lucky.
Yeah,
Oh, yes!
you have lucky. Reroll.
Thank you!
Don't forget your luck.
That's better.
As it slips out of your hand, you're able to sort of just kick it forward with your own foot, and the blade somehow pierces into the creature. Roll your damage.
Okay. Alright. 1d6 plus... it was 2... Yes.
Plus a d8.
And then I'll just do the...
Oh.
Nice. Okay, 6 points of damage. So as the blade slips out of your hand and you sort of just kick it forward, almost cutting off your own toe, the blade just sticks into the creature. It almost seems as surprised as you are, and then there's a as the blade kind of ejects itself out, and you're able to just about catch it. Very amazed at what just happened.
This would be so cool animated.
Rather stupefied about what just happened, it's going to try and continue eating you. To which it just bites one of its own tentacles.
I would
In frustration.
I would like to name this court our little fight the incompetent battle.
You do seem to have the runt of the pack here.
For good reason, clearly.
The runts are fighting each other.
So, Sardo, as you sort of look back up at this creature, having just stared down at the blade, which has just somehow miraculously reappeared in your hand, you just see this beak come down and then just chomp, and you just hear it. As you've noticed, it's bit one of its own tentacles.
That is amazing.
Savangal, your turn.
You would like to cook the one that just bit itself?
Right, roll your attack. 15 hits. This is too epic music for what is happening.
If they can't hear it, doesn't matter. I can only just imagine.
It's
I couldn't.
You say run?
I'm trying to remember if you say run or oh no, it's one of the ones in the labeled in the Japanese language, which I don't understand. Although as this creature is letting go of its own tentacle, Cerno, you notice how just this sharp point is now sticking out of a different tentacle, which quickly withdraws from emotion from Savangal. However, the creature next to her, unhappy that its meal is ignoring it, but also happy that its meal is ignoring it, is going to fail at chomping her.
Either.
That
Wow.
is going to decide that, wriggling over here means it might not get peppered with arrows.
Are you sure about that?
Or it's your turn.
I'm going to bring the axe down on this one, and I'm going to leave it in him.
Roll to hit. I'm afraid, as you sort of throw the axe down, letting go of it to try and leave it in it, you just see it just spin right past the front of its beak and then just embed itself in the ground.
Damn.
Can I grab its head and then can I just ram it into the axe?
Roll another attack. You are able to, somewhat sort of looking at what just happened, you just grab the back of the creature's head and slam it forwards, as catching it off guard. Roll your damage.
7.
Right, as you just sort of slam this creature's head forwards into your axe, you hear a slight crunching sound, and as it kind of pulls its head back up, you notice that this hand axe is now broken.
Oh.
You did just use it to an attack in a very unorthodox method. Is there anything else
Okay.
Boar would like to do?
Well, you definitely don't need the hand axe.
He has 2 of them.
Eh?
No.
Oh,
Do I
no,
kill this one?
I think
or
you
do
only
I
have one
run?
left, actually.
Yeah, that was my last hand. That was my only hand axe. I only had one.
Never mind, Boar no longer has a hand axe.
You
Okay,
didn't need
what?
it.
I'll remove that. Just remind me. Either API error. Oh no, that's not fun. Either I can attack this little guy, or I could run and use fury blows on this guy.
The choice is yours.
I know. Boar's going to bring down both fists onto this guy right here.
Roll your attack.
Well, he's gonna bring down both fists, so he's gonna use his fury of blows.
Alright, expending a key point and roll your attacks then.
Yeah.
First one misses, second one hits. So
Mhm.
as you try to bring down both fists, you misjudge where its head's going to be, and as it kind of draws back, one hits it, whilst the other one just bounces off its beak. However, you do deal another 5 points of damage, and this poor creature is not very happy in deciding that maybe it should have stayed where it was. Agnes, your turn.
Oh, wait, no, I do have 10 feet of.
Poison spray deck save.
Was that Dex save?
On no constitutions.
Constitution save.
Jim, you sound as tired as I feel.
Natural 20, I'm afraid.
Damn.
Mm,
As you sort of extend your hand, the tentacles whip towards you, and you sort of fire it off, and the main bulk of the creature just hits the floor before writhing up towards you, as it now tries to bite you, unless there's anything else you're going to try and do. Alright. It shall now try and nom on your face. "26 to hit you with the tentacles.
Hmm.
Don't blame me. If I was you, I would have
Mm.
shocking grasped and then GTFO'd. This deals. This might need a medic.
No.
48 plus 4 slashing damage as
Oh, gee, lord.
make your strength of the grave. You have to roll a natural 20 on it, I believe. But make your check just in case. Strength of the grave, Jam. Anything reduces you, it's a charisma saving throw. So that should have been a +6, which would have been a 22, but unfortunately not enough. As Agnes is on the floor, bleeding out, and then the tail's going to try and hit Lucian.
Oh.
With a 22, I believe that hits. That is 2d6 plus 4. Ten points of damage to Lucian. So that makes Lucian on 27 now. It is, however, Lucian's turn, as it now turns to try and eat him, satisfied that that prey ain't going anywhere.
Witch bolt on it.
Witch Bolt, I believe, is a ranged attack, which means you'd be at disadvantage for you. Actually, wait. Yeah, so if you're within a creature's area to where it can attack you with melee combat, you're at disadvantage for any ranged attacks, to which is what Witch Bolt is.
Would apply
So-
for sword burst, I take it.
No, it doesn't apply for Sword Burst. So
Use sword burst instead.
Sword Burst it is, and you're lucky that Agnes is 1 block away.
Mhm.
She's 2 blocks away rather than 1, as it rolls a GR. This is Sword Burst, as it has to roll against it. So let's see. D20 plus its dexterity, which rolls a 7. Roll your 2d6, is it? Yeah, 2d6 force damage.
And no pluses.
No pluses. All right, 7 points of damage as the ethereal swords cut into this creature and it hisses in annoyance. Arsene, your turn.
Just checking. Ew. So, wait, I'm just double checking something with Healing Spirit. Go on the place, whenever you are a creature, you can see moves in the spirit space. So, when I summon Healing Spirit, it doesn't automatically do healing, does it? It's at when
What did we
someone
agree
else.
on this comment? I think it was at the start of their turn, wasn't it?
It's either at the start of a character's turn or when it's summoned, wasn't it?
Until the spell ends, whenever you or a creature you can see moves into the spirit's space for the first time.
I
at the
think
start
we
of a turn, or
counted.
starts its turn there. I think we counted it summoning as it moving into the space.
Yeah.
Although moving it doesn't cause it. It's whenever
A creature.
Something else.
whenever a creature moves into its space. So I think it'll be at the start of Agnes's turn. It will heal if you summon it on top of her.
That's what I was thinking. So that still means she will have to make her death saving throw. Sweet. I will do that then. I will use my bonus action to summon. Summon Healing Spirit on her.
Alrighty then. A totally not spooky healing spirit appears around Agnes.
Oh no, how are we gonna tell her apart? And I can hit.
Oh, I thought I changed that creature's name. Whoops.
I can hit that. I can shoot from here. Yeah. I'll shoot the grip twice.
Alright. Roll your 2 attacks.
One hit.
First one misses, second one hits.
Yay!
Oh my god, it's on 1 hit point.
Really?
Yeah, I had 11.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Damn.
These things had a total of 40 hit points.
God damn it.
Sano, your turn. What you gotta do, buddy?
I almost want a thunderclap.
Would hit Savangal.
I know. That's that. Yeah, screw it. I'll just do my scimitar.
$22 hits, weirdly enough.
Yeah. I was doing it with Booming Blade as well, and I'm attacking the top one, so...
Alright, remember to say
That's-
Booming Blade next time, but...
Yeah, sorry.
6, 8... Oh my god, they were both on 11 hit points. Well, that one's now on 3. Is there anything else you want to do?
Oh, I mean... Just do a healing word, because that's bonus action. Screw it, I'll do healing word. That's
On
Agnes, sorry, so that's 1d4 plus 2. That's 3. So she wakes back up, and then she's also... Everyone gets
and there's a spooky, sperry spirit over her. And everyone heals an additional 5 hit points. That makes Agnes onto 8, Lucian onto 32,
I've
Boar is
already
on
added
to
mine.
37.
Well
Have you
done.
added yours, Perps? I think you have, haven't you?
I have not.
Oh, have you not? That makes you on 24.
I did mine.
All right. Very nice. It's now Mr. Gricky's turn. Keep on forgetting to count down.
Did Agnes get the +5 as well? Sorry?
Uh,
On top of the
I was
3?
expecting her to add it, but I have added it for her.
Okay.
All right. It's Mr. Gricky's turn. Nope, 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 nope.
Attack of opportunity!
Actually, you don't even get that since you booming bladed. Roll 3d8.
Oh, yeah! Wait, was it 3d8? I thought it was only 2.
No, sorry, 2d8.
2d8. 7.
As it starts to wiggle forward, there's just this almighty as it gets thrown back and just kind of hits you lightly in the face before kind of flomping down in front of you.
No! Nope! Nope! Nope!
Imagine, you know the Worms games, the way the worms sort of move, the sort of compressing. It does that, and then you just hear it, and it just goes, and it slowly slides off your face, leaving a bit of a red smear.
No!
Savangel, your turn.
She would like to poke the one that's to her left.
Roll to hit.
If you miss.
You hit it. How do you want to kill this creature?
She wants to skewer it.
All right. As this creature hears what happens to its friend and starts to make the same movements to GTFO, you just kind of leap forward, poke, 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 and as it starts to go forward, you just see all of this blood suddenly just go out, and then it kind of just lulls forwards.
Tonight.
Right. And then she would also like to cast Healing Word on Agnes at level 2.
All right. Oh, look at this. Agnes getting all of the healing.
Yeah, for once it's not bored.
Hi.
Alright. I am going to take a running head start. And I'm going to... Oh yeah, it's not my turn yet.
It is now your
Oh,
turn,
yeah.
as Agnes is now on 18 HP.
Gonna run up, and I'm going to shoulder check the bastard.
Roll you to hit. I like how this creature just tentacled Agnes to death. Went, yep, that's good prey, and then it's just going to turn and go. It looks like I didn't do anything, and 17, I'm afraid, doesn't quite hit this creature.
Damn.
Okay. Then I'm gonna punch it.
18 just hits. 4 points of damage.
And then...
Alright, your punch hits it, and its flabby side seems to take some of the force as it sort of goes whoop, 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 whoop. But it seems somewhat injured.
I will
Fix that.
burn one more key point
Go, go, go.
Alright,
to do
make 2 more attacks then.
2 strikes. Whatever type of attack it is, it's just anything.
Both of those hit. Roll your damage.
7 and 4.
That makes...
Eleven.
okay. Nope, stay there.
And never mind, they can't be knocked prone.
No, they can't. They are like permanently prone. Alright. Agnes, roll a, what is it, a d6?
1d6.
Agnes, roll a d6. You're also flat on your face, so roll a d6 first. Congratulations, you're now at 21 HP. You're also
Sweet.
currently flat on your face, so I assume you stand up. Now roll your attack. 19 just about hits. Roll your damage.
Jesus Christ, what the hell is this thing's armor class?
18.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Down.
Hmm.
It takes 8 points of damage. Its tentacles sort of flicker, and well, I don't say when I say flicker, I mean sort of like flick themselves and then seize slightly, and a very unnormal movement. Think Davy Jones when he's dying. You cannot move that far. You stood up. That's half your movement speed. Remember. There you go. And with that,
Is it nap time?
it's now Mr. Alpha Gricky's turn. And he's not too pleased. And so he's going to try and bite Ball. Which I think hits.
No, it doesn't. My armor class is 27.
Mm-hmm. Clearly.
Yep.
That's 48 plus 4. It's 29 points of damage to Boar. As it's now
For
going to make a beak
fuck's
attack against him.
Sake.
Bruh, this thing's a challenge rating 7.
Mm,
Why?
Because that makes it a fair fight. Clearly. Its beak is 2d8 plus 4.
oh my god, no.
And that's an additional 8 points of damage to Boar, which, oh god, that knocks him unconscious. And
And
finally, Hmm?
Ninja, remember, you have 10 feet movement. You could be 1 square away, and they can't hit you.
Range. She means range, but she has a point.
Mm-hmm.
Although, actually, these creatures have 10 feet as well. This one has 10 feet as well. And that's a 21 to hit its tail against Lucian,
Ow.
which 2d6 plus 4. And so Lucian takes 11 points of damage as it sort of slams against him and now turns to face him yet again. Now your turn, Lucian. I'm just going to get rid of that thing because it's annoying me now. Bye-bye, Grix.
You can move into
Should
the
I just-
healing spirit. Cough.
I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the healing spirit. You referring to Boar or what
I
were
mean,
you?
if you move yourself, you'll receive healing.
Oh, yeah.
And if boss and a creature which starts their turn in the square of the spirit heals hit points. So if you move into it, Arsene can then on her turn move it onto board.
Not the unicorn, the spoopy one.
Spoopy one.
Spoopy one.
Spooky
Sorry.
ones, Thank you.
Spoopy, spoopy. Yeah, because it's right by
Arceus
the
is
thing.
totally
as
not
well.
evil healing spirit. All of these healing spirits are just really misunderstood, aren't they?
They really are.
So is that all I can do, or can I?
No,
still...
that's your movement. You can still attack. Also, type /R space D6.
Slash R D6, you said?
Yeah, I believe D6 is a healing spirit.
Yep.
D6.
All right, so you heal 2, so you're on 23. Hey, don't knock it. It could be the difference between life and death. And now you can make your attacks if you want. Or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna safely melee attack without causing any damage to Boar.
All right, roll your 2d20s. You glance around to try and find Dayron. You do not see him.
Hiding. No, he's blocked. He's waiting.
Info.
714 does not hit, but the second one does. So roll a d10 plus 4. So as Lucian steps forward, sorry, not steps forwards, sidesteps quite dramatically, and the tentacles sort of flare in his direction. He swings, misses, but then is able to bring the sword back around and slice deeply into one of the tentacles, dealing 8 points. 8 points? 5 points of damage. All right, Arsene, your turn.
I would like to use my bonus action to move my hunter's mark to this thing.
You sure?
Hmm.
All right.
I trust. Sano, 7 girl will be fine. I'm gonna heal Boar. He'll be okay. I'm gonna shoot it twice.
Roll
It's
your
fine.
attacks.
You know. Oh, god damn it.
With a natural one, I'm going to be mean and roll another attack.
Does that miss him?
That just misses Lucian. You are very lucky.
Ooh.
Lucian, for some
Sorry.
reason, your instinct tells you to duck, and so you duck, and you just see this arrow go twang
It was
and
the
hit
healing
into a
spirit.
tree where your head just was, as another arrow sort of sails in and roll your damage against the Grick. All right. As you deal that amount of damage to it. Sano, your turn.
All right.
Sorry.
Running up to here, as I measured, I can do that. Up to there. Healing word. At still level 1. So healing word on Boar. That's going to be that. He gets 9 hit points back, and everyone else gets +5.
I feel like I should try and distract this thing. I'm on full health. I have the most health.
So Boar is on 9. Lucian is on 28. And all right, most people are almost back to full health. Look
I've
at you.
embraced my role as the healer now. Ah, that was just. I'm going to booming blade it as well.
Right, roll your attack.
There's my attack. Natural
Natural
20!
Nice. Roll your damage.
Alright,
Nice.
it's that. Plus... Where is it? That. So that's...
10.
10. There we go. And if it tries to run...
Yeah. As it takes that damage. Salangao, your turn.
All right, you would like to cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
And it has to make a what saving throw again?
Wisdom saving.
Wisdom. Alright. It rolls a 7.
Ooh.
Yay! Oh, I also wanted to make it at level 2.
I'll allow it. 14 points of damage. And it now whispers.
It better be a good sword. We'll like to get.
Well, I can't use it, so you lot better have fun with it.
And it goes climbs a tree. It takes the roll your damage comment.
Yay!
Actually, wait. I think it says willingly, isn't it? What does Booming Blade specifically say?
Let me double check.
Booming Blade says if a target willingly moves. Okay, so it doesn't go off, I'm afraid.
Ah!
This is forced movement as it
Yeah.
essentially sprints away and starts climbing up a tree.
Well, we get attack of opportunity anyway. Right?
No,
Or do we
forced
not?
movement again.
Why is the movement forced?
Because its Savangal's spell forces it to run away.
Okay, so no attack of opportunity.
I'm afraid not. It's good for making creatures leave things alone, but so say if you have a dead teammate and a creature's about to try and nom on it, it's up a tree as well, just bearing in mind. But now it is Boar's turn, as it is now running up a tree, trying to climb away.
Could I possibly get to it?
Yeah, you could get to it, and with your long arms, you could punch it whilst it's kind of hiding in a tree or trying to.
Because good, it's been working so well. Why not? I'm going to get up, and it's half my movement. Oh, you bastard. 25. Could I? No, right?
Your movement is 30. No, your movement's like 40.
Right.
So you can move.
No,
12
you
feet.
you would have to be in the square here, but you could hit it at 10 feet. It's about 10 feet up at this point in time.
Can I get to where it is? Yes or no?
If you stand in a square which appears next to it, but it's 10 feet above you, it can still hit you because it has a range of 10 feet as well. It's a big creature, but you can hit it as well.
I'll just roll my 2 attack. Well, I'll do 3.
That's 2 hits.
Ow.
Right? 6. 1, 2. Yeah. And why
Still a
not
breathing
for,
creature.
for
Just,
one more?
but it's still a breathing. Just hits, roll damage. How do you want to punch this poor innocent creature to death?
That motherfucker's a pinata.
It's kind of semi-slivered around a tree, but as Boar
That
runs
was
up,
my last axe, you bitch.
as Boar runs up, Lucian, not so much Sono, just sees him throw several punches upwards, and then you just hear as it just lands in front of Boar, dead and
Not
unmoving.
dying again.
Over to Cerno and says,
Boar,
I'll
I
give that a
would-
10 out of 10.
I would now like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
My wisdom
For who?
Just Boar.
11. Yeah, that's an 11.
An 11. All right. Roll a d. Roll a d100, please.
Oh no, Corey's not happy.
And roll a d10 as well.
Oh,
Okay.
percent. Mm,
All right.
I
As
don't know
Boar
what's happening.
watches this, both Lucian and Sano just sees him lock up. You are currently paralyzed as you retreat into your own mind, understanding just how close you were to death once again. This lasts for a minute.
I figured
Oh.
that's what that was.
Oh,
The D100 was to see what effect of Minor Madness had on him. The D10 was to figure out how long it's lasted. So for an entire minute, Boar is now paralyzed. As the adrenaline leaves him, he now comes to terms with just how close he was to dying yet again. However, you guys are now out of turn order.
can I move my spirit under him?
Yeah, and you can roll. You can roll 5d6s to try and finish healing him up.
Am I rolling or is
I'll either or one of you rolls 5d6s to see how much
You
health he
roll.
gets.
okay? Nice if I could spell healing. 19.
All right. Well, not that he currently realizes it, but he's now over half health again.
And then Night Eyes goes over and tries to comfort him whilst I search for arrows.
Roll your investigation check. So yes, the character retreats into his or her mind and becomes
Avengo would like to go listen to see if there's any more things around in the forest that might possibly want to eat them.
Roll perception check, Savangal and Arsene. You find half your arrows you should.
Nice, that's 4. I shot 4. I mean, I shot 8.
All right. You guys have survived the Grix, which apparently glomped this poor soul.
And just ate him.
Taking note of this and what just happened, Lucian is going to bring up the idea of maybe we should find somewhere far from here for the night.
From
A
Lucian's
safe place.
from Lucian's time on this island, he understands that this is there is no civilization, so monsters like these are rare, but creatures which feed and try and feed on things, they are still going to be around. No matter where you camp, you have a chance of these creatures appearing. But
Good, I said that.
Maybe because
I
we
was going to
just
say,
go
away
to
from this
the-
forest, which has Grix in it, might be a decent idea.
No.
It is, however, it's approaching midday at this point in time.
Oh, so we'll be fine. We don't need to camp for that.
Cerno
Don't worry about
suggests
it.
moving out of the forest and back sort of onto the beach. And walking along the coast a bit more.
We're not towards the next forest.
Yeah, after the experience with this one? No, thank you. I'm
I
fine.
think the beach is more likely to have tentacles on.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more about resting a bit.
Thought of something really bad that I'm not going to say out on stream.
Yeah, sure, we can go. To the beach. Make sure Boar's okay, and then to the beach.
Well, after about a minute, Boar finally comes out of his mental mind prison and slowly sort of comes round and comes to.
Cerno's gonna look towards Ball, worried, and then turn around in a huff. He's gonna, before his unicorn spirit disappears, he's gonna thank it.
It's sort of just it's had this piece of this load of grass just sort of hanging out of its mouth with its mouth half open. As soon as the final Grick dies, it sort of nervously looks around and then starts chomping again. And as you thank it, it sort of just nods its head and then goes off to graze in other pastures.
Neat.
I make
Good
sure
job,
to
guys.
pick up the sword.
You pick up the sword.
Savango would like to finish casting Identify on it.
Not
Well,
here,
as you wait for
I
okay,
suggest.
that was all right. Does Savangal listen to Cerno's suggestion?
She climbs up on his head and then casts Identify while he's carrying her.
Cerno, make a strength check.
Ah! I think that's just a straight roll. Okay.
Okay, as you're expecting to fall face first into the dirt, but you're somehow able to steady yourself, and although you're now shuffling at about 20 feet instead of 25 feet, Savangal is balanced on your shoulders, crouched, muttering to herself, holding a pearl in between her jaws, and casting Identify on this sword.
Oh god. I know it's a bit rude, but you're heavy. Oh, and he starts walking with this workout.
It is one hell of a workout. What's everyone else doing?
Seems watching this scene unfold, trying to kind of hide a smile, just trying to.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, no, be polite, be polite.
Love you for you laugh. We all laugh. Follow after making sure Bo's okay, we follow after, heading back towards the beach.
All right. So
Thanks, you.
you head out of the forest, much to Arsene's disappointment, and then head down onto the beach. That's about another about half an hour of travel. About an hour of travel to get onto that beach. And I assume you spend the next 4 or so hours traveling along the beach.
Until nightfall, yeah.
That's 2, so you're about there as darkness is beginning to fall. And what Savangal finds that she is clutching in her paws is she is holding onto a moon-touched longsword.
Ooh.
What this sword does. In darkness, the unsheathed blade of the sword sheds moonlight, creating bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet.
Oh, which one of the party members will this work well with?
A few of you can use longswords. And by a few, I think I mean
2 of us. Me and you,
2.
I believe. But I already have Talon, and Talon's a magic longsword, so you want them. If you want this one.
Savangal use? No, Savangal can also use longswords if she wants to use a strength-based weapon.
I have no strength. I have -1 in that. So Savango jumps up off of Cerno and looks at Lucina like, "Can you use this?"
He look. Oh wait, you're not speaking to Cerno.
Out of character,
It is
if Bor,
Mhm.
if Bor can use it,
Bor cannot use it.
What's the differences between stat-wise out of character with?
The only difference between this longsword and the longsword you're currently wielding is it sheds light in darkness. For you, if you're trying to be stealthy, which isn't one of your strong suits, it would cause slight more problems for you. Other than that, I mean, you can already see in the dark. You do have dark vision, but it would just allow you to see a bit better in the darkness.
That's a question, actually.
You can take it, and you don't have to bond to it. So you could bond to you could stay bonded to your regular longsword and your longbow, and then just use this sword as well, or you could switch what weapons you're bonded to. And Boar can only use simple weapons and short swords.
If everyone's okay with that,
I'm
yeah, I'll
fine.
hang on to it.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll add it to your sheet later.
That's a question that I have. Though, can we tell what race Lucian is?
He appears human.
Nice, thank you.
Savango would like to climb up on Lucian's shoulders and just like hang like those those like scarves that are like of animals and just like hang off like that.
Well, Lucian, in this rather warm weather, which you're actually somewhat accustomed to, the Sword Coast is significantly colder than your home area. Since you've been heading more and more north, it sort of got warmer and then started to get colder and colder and colder. This is a bit more in line with what you're do heat-wise. However, having not only a fur coat but a living, breathing fur coat is getting a bit warm, a bit toasty. But I think we should probably call that as the session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds.
As you guys come to rest, or actually, before that, whoever's leading, roll a perception check.
Cerno, I guess. That'll be +4.
Whoever's leading, Jam.
+1. +5. That's a 9.
Okay, and one other person.
Undermine.
Zippers.
If the front two people. So Agnes is watching New Dude. So Boar's probably sleeping. Savangel's hanging around on Arsene's head. So I mean, not Arsene's head, Lucian's head. So that leaves Arsene if she was keeping an eye out for things, which I assume she probably was.
Apparently, I was.
All right. As you're making your way along, about an hour before sun sets, you notice there's another outcropping of rocks, and it doesn't seem too out of place for Sarno, but to Arsene, something catches her eye. And she just sort of... Actually, I assume she sends Night Eyes off towards these pile of rocks.
Might as well. Tell him to be careful.
And the image you get back, Arsene, is that of a rowboat, concealed amongst the rocks.
There's a rowboat over
A
there,
rowboat.
guys. In the rock. Is
We
it
go check out
broken?
the
I asked
rowboat
my
then.
guys.
The image you got from Night Eyes it appears to be a fully fledged rowboat with a sort of canvas over the top of it, and it's hidden amongst the rocks.
Are they yours, Lucian? Or do you think it's the other people that were here?
That is not Lucian's.
No, Lucian's.
I want to go investigate it.
Sure. Well, we camp near it. Bit of shelter with those rocks.
Right then.
All right, so you make your
And
way
then
over.
Sorry, Nate. I'm sorry.
No worries. You make your way over to this rowboat, and sort of climbing on some of the rocks, and you're able to see it, and you see how it was sort of shoved in there, and with all of you sort of doing it, you're able to heave the boat out slightly, so it's easier to investigate it. It's a simple tarp, sort of just tied down on a few points, easy enough to undo. And as you undo it and sort of flip it open, You notice inside is an assortment of few things. There's 2 oars, as you sort of expected, and a few other interesting stuff.
Mm.
General sort of traveling gear and equipment.
Oh. Um,
And is anyone in particular looking in this boat?
me.
Cerno is as
I
well.
would-
Oh well. Can I with Savingal pretty much wrapped around me?
Yes and no. No worry, Ninja. I'm gonna wrap it up shortly after this.
Alright, Ninja.
Mhm.
Sleep tight, bud.
Yes,
Sleep
you
well,
go
dude.
sleep. Good night.
Well, I'm gonna take a small little nap because I got work tonight.
That's a very wise idea, dude.
Uh-huh.
Go sleep.
Good
Bye, guys.
night.
Night, Ninja.
Night.
I love all of you.
So,
And
If- it was Cerno and Arsene. So why don't you both roll investigations checks, Cerno and Arsene, and we'll just say Lucian's sort of hanging around.
There he is.
I'm
Hanging.
just making him part of your traveling group now.
man, that icon is so cool.
He's so cool.
There you go, grouped. Right. Well,
Wi-Fi.
rummaging through this sort of rummaging through this the boat,
Mhm.
you find a few things in between yourself. There's a few days' rations, standard traveling gear, a med kit. Sono finds there's also a collection of herbs, a few of which you recognize, 1 or 2 you don't. But make a nature check at advantage, please, Sono.
Can
Alright.
we take the med kit and rations?
Yeah, there's about 6 days worth of rations and a med kit. Sono, with a 19, you actually recognize out of the 6 herbs, you recognize 4 of them. 2 of them you just have no clue. It's not sort of something from the area you're familiar with. The other 4 you do recognize as ember sage, flux clover, king's blood, and wolfsbane, to which notably all are used in healing potions as well as other sort of herbal remedies and treatments.
Wow. No idea what these do, but nice. These ones. How rare are some of these?
Wolfsbane and king's blood, pretty damn rare.
Ooh,
With the
damn.
med kit, is that herbalism or healer's kit?
It's a healer's kit.
Okay, just double checking.
And what Arsene finds is that in amongst all sort of this, all the sort of kit, a glint of gold and red catches her eye.
Mhm.
As she reaches down and grabs it and pulls out, it's a chain, a necklace with a little amulet on it. This amulet is what appears to be 2 golden hands reaching down, clasping around a red ruby, which hangs in between them.
Hmm. Any symbolism I recognise or anything?
Roll
any
just roll a
etchings
straight
or-
intelligence.
Okay, oh no.
Roll an Arcana then, Agnes. Symbolism. It seems to be well, it seems to be symbolizing holding on to something.
Yeah.
Perhaps to do with you've heard and seen of the goddess Ouijas. Considering life and death, it could be something to do with that life. It could be something to do with Pelor, with sort of just general healthiness. It could be something to do with Akatosh. With you've seen not the same, but you've seen sort of like crystals used to sort of show the timepiece, and you're wondering if it's meant to be sort of like that sort of symbolism. What you do notice is that on the crystal itself are very finely etched runes. Agnes, from that distance, you are unable to see these runes, and so to you, it just seems like a pretty fancy bit of jewelry.
Hmm.
Would there be a point in using detect magic again, or would it just be what happened last time?
Detect magic just tells you that there's magic there and what sort of school it's from. To know what the item does, you need identify as the spell. Detect magic is good for figuring out that something's an illusion, hiding something, being a bit more of a crime scene investigator, seeing sort of like that there's a that evocation magic has happened here. So surely, like if you were to go to your battle area and use detect magic, you would see traces of evocation magic from the spells you guys cast and all that. That's more sort of what detect magic is for. Identify reveals information about something if it is magical. So
Okay.
you sort of have to use both in conjunction. If you use like detect magic and you go, oh, this item is magical, you can then use identify. But if it's just a random item and you go, okay, identify, still run the chance of going, it's a sword, and not learning that it's not knowing that it's magical or not. Casting identify, if it's not magical, it just gives you nothing. But you can cast magic if you wish.
And pocket the necklace to look at later. Not now.
I think I've already had enough of a light show, quote unquote, for one time.
Yeah, Sano's bag is quite blinding.
Wait, what?
All right.
Oh yeah,
And
Your fancy
That book,
Uh,
man.
that yeah. Well, I know that it's got something up with it, but I don't know anything else about it.
No. Right, and with that, we shall call it a session. I hope everyone has enjoyed this sessions of Dummies and Dice. I almost said the wrong one there.
It's D&D game, and you all survived.
Yes, you all survived my Grick encounter.
Your first character didn't die in the first session.
And I didn't quite kill my girlfriend. So, all good.
Also,
Yeah, that will come back to bite you pretty quick.
I'm sure Randa will suffer in her campaign.
oh god, that is terrifying.
Don't worry. Blows will be traded. Blows will be traded.
Before we head out, Frenchie, thank you for the follow, my friend. Thank you for the follow.
Yay.
Pretty nice of you. Pretty nice. Thank you, mate. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And on that, you've already done the outro, haven't you, sub?
Yeah, I can say it again if you want.
Do it. Why not?
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Dummies and Dice. Where will our players go next? We will have to wait and see.
Say
See
bye,
you
everyone
next
else.
Thursday.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye bye.